Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and thanks for stopping by. Our dedicated team will guide you through with the latest updates and theories at Starbase, Texas. To the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon for future streams.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Zack Golden. Welcome to another Starbase Weekly livestream. Got a great show for y'all this week. Tons of news, not all of it Starbase related, I guess, but I think we're almost obliged to talk about other launch pads as well today. So we'll probably get into that a little bit later. But yeah, welcome to the show. We have Alex joining us today. Alex, thanks for being here.
Thanks for love being here. It should be a great show. And yeah, let's do this.
Awesome. And I think we also have Ryan Weber with us today.
Hey everyone, how's it going today? Nice, lovely Sunday. Yeah.
Agreed. And I think Indian Star is doing questions and donations today.
I am. Hi everybody.
Did you just wake up? You sound like you just woke up.
It's still early here. May have just woken up a little bit ago. Yes.
You sound a bit more awake than I was yesterday, so that's something.
Yeah, Alex
Promising,
sounded
right?
dead yesterday.
Yeah, I woke up pretty early today to organize images. There's quite a few of them, so lots and lots to go through. So much that I definitely don't think even if I wanted to, we could cover pretty much everything. So there will be a lot that gets covered on the Starbase Expanded show instead. But yeah, we have a ton to go through. And as y'all know, this is the first flyover since Flight 12. So we did, Mauricio did do a flyover on the day of Flight 12, and we kind of had images of the aftermath a little bit, but there was a lot of, matter of fact, I'm just going to go ahead and pull up an image instead of talk about it. Let's see here. So yeah, we did have basically images from shortly after the launch, but there's a lot of haze and stuff. Not haze, but vapor all over the pad from liquid oxygen basically boiling off on the pad. So a lot of details were kind of hidden from us. So we'll be able to finally go through a lot of that closer today now that the dust or vapor is cleared, I guess. So lots to talk about at the launch site and elsewhere. But as always, we will start off at Massey's. And I think like I've been doing a lot lately. I'll let one of y'all lead us through Massey's. Probably start us back at the static fire test stand.
You got this, Ryan.
I was about to say he was going to take
it. All right. Yeah. Basically, the ship cryo stand, a new lovely thrust sim stands out at Massey's for looks like testing work because they've got those jigs off to the side to test the actuators and whatnot. So they're doing a few things. It also kind of looks like they're kind of setting up for some shielding around the grating. I don't know if it's going to go under it or top of it, but they're doing a lot of
shielding on here.
Yeah, I don't know if those are steel plates on the top of that grating there.
Oh, yeah, right here.
Those.
Yeah.
That's weird. I don't get why they would need shielding on this of all things.
Right? I don't know.
We were trying to figure that out last night during show and tell too. Didn't make a lot of sense.
But those do look like slots for plug welding.
Yeah. Maybe they don't want to walk around on grating anymore. They want to walk around on solid steel plates. I don't know. Maybe. It's about the only thing I can think of.
Well, I think one of the benefits of the grating is you get a lot of like the aft section of the ship is like is really frosty, and so it ends up melting, and basically you want it to have a surface to pass through instead of just pooling up on the top of the stand up here.
Yeah, because inside those flanges that for bolting down the calibration ratchet frames, how rusty the steel has already gotten just from condensate dripping on it.
Actually, now that you say that, maybe they want these not sitting on the grating. You know what I mean? So like these are just footings for that.
They have those round flange-like looking things welded down that they bolt it to.
These?
Yeah. Yeah, you can match up the bowl patterns. Whole
square to circle?
Yeah.
Well, I can see it right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's 3 of those. But what about around the RVAC ones? I don't see anything there.
That's probably what these frames would probably have to bridge across the... Because aren't they...
I can tell you if you'd like.
Go for it.
So if you look to the right of the stand from on your picture right now, see there's a adapter right up there, correct. And then if you look down at the tallest jig, one side is a little bit smaller on the left there. So that side bolts to the outside of the ring. If you go back to the ring. Yep.
I see where it goes.
There's those little pieces right on that. There you go. And then the adapter bolts it to the round piece on the inside.
So they're adding the adapters, it looks, or those were they there previously?
Interesting. That's a clever setup, I guess. So these ones basically, this one goes across, so they can really only. I guess they could kind of do.
Yeah. So the small
2
one,
at a time.
the small one goes across the inside ones, and the taller one goes for the outsides.
Clever. Yeah, they can do one sea level, one RVAC pusher at a time, and just rotate it around. Yeah.
What are these?
So they'll
just hydraulic. I feel like the shape of these should make their location pretty obvious, but I don't see it.
Yeah. I don't know. They're for something.
Sure wish it was like to see panels like that for the wall of this flame trench.
The the Spalling Trench? Spalling?
Yeah, the Spalling Trench. Yeah.
So this would be getting ready for ship 41.
Yeah, 41. 40 should have its engines by now. So until they're done putzing with this and putzing with the trench, 40 is not going to be static fired anytime soon. So they're gonna, and it's not like they need to static fire 40. Its booster hasn't even cryoed yet. We'll get to that later, but of course the booster cryo stand is now in Sanchez, but like they don't really need the ship trench anytime soon for 40. They kind of need to get it ready for 41 because they want to at least get a ship and the other booster, which would be 21, kind of going because they need to up their production cadence very badly, like badly.
Now, I'm assuming that cylinder right by the hydraulic pump is probably fire suppression.
Yeah, I was looking at that
I
this
think
morning
so.
and I was kind of confused.
There's stuff where the line runs. It's hard to keep track of it though, but like it looks like it runs and then it kind of goes up towards the QD area. So that might be
Huh.
some kind of, I don't know.
That's a weird
This
place.
looks like a pump right here.
Yeah.
And then
It's weird.
I don't see anything actually running into the pump. This must be like a hydraulic pump.
Yeah, there's just those two black hydraulic hoses directly above it. Yeah, from
Is-
that reservoir. Okay, that's
Wait,
weird.
this is for the test stand.
Well, no, I thought test stand has its own though.
Yeah, underneath that shield.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
it does
that's-
have here.
It's its own power. It has its own HPU. I wonder if that's like ground side power kind of thing. I don't know.
They had one for their pre-energetic event.
pre 36,
Yeah.
the lucky number.
Yeah, 36 used to be the the high water Methalox stand events. Wait a minute.
This angle gives me a headache.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm like,
Give us a better-
it's not powering the actuators on. Is it powering the aft actuators? It can't be because they've already used those, and that wasn't there before. So
Yeah, this just came here this week, right?
Yeah.
so yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I
Backup
thought the
HPU for something.
slides actually had their own, but I mean, maybe it's going to has to deal with this sliding ramp. It's a weird place for it though.
You're talking about the
Yeah.
the rolling
roller.
deck, I guess they call it.
Yeah.
I like
Huh.
the signage all over the place. So yeah, we should see 41 roll out, I guess, once they finish doing all this calibration. I wonder if they have like
I would say 40 goes before 41 because they just finished stacking 41. So
yeah, good point. I wonder if they did the same because I don't remember them doing the calibration before they tested ship 30. Oh wait,
they had it sitting over in the parking spot over by the ship cryo stand area, the old area, I should say. And they had those out, so they might have tested it, but we didn't catch it, or either that or
wait, they didn't test. They didn't do the puck shucker on 39.
No.
They did it on 40. Though.
That's why. That's why we're only seeing this now. That's hilarious to me.
Well, they're testing it after they already did it to 40, which is kind of odd, but whatever.
Well, they need to redo or recalibrate all the flap actuators. They modified the top for the aft flap.
Maybe-
Or the
How do you do
forward
these
flap.
ones? These are kind of in a weird position to do that.
They probably just lift them off and use one of those multitudes of reaction frames they have all over the place.
I wonder if they're recalibrating the stand after the 39 flight based off data from 39.
Yeah, they might just be testing their test regime
models.
to make. Yeah.
And, yeah. Because the funny thing that happened is like a week after the flight, all of a sudden 18.3 tests 3 times in a row, which is Massey too. It's like I'm wondering if they might have seen a few things, which is not surprising considering it's the first ever.
Did they test it last night?
No. So they tested it. What was it? The 27th, 28th, and 29th. So.
But that was. I'm trying to remember if that was the first series of tests where they actually had all of the.
That's possible too.
Yeah, I think those were like we were waiting on those tests. Those should have happened before Flight 12.
Yeah, well, I think they just wanted to get the flight. I didn't think they wanted to get Flight 12 off the ground, no matter what. At that point, they were itching.
Yeah, for sure.
Love that gas manifold up top. Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
Have we seen anything from? We're kind of bouncing around a little bit, which is fine. But have we seen anything from the landing tank?
One test on the 26th
in jail. And that one was just a pressure test, right?
I think it had. I think it was Frosty. It definitely had a decent vent out the top of it. I'd have to go back and look at footage, but I think that was like that was actually a cryo test of the thing. Which again is something that should have happened before the flight, but here we are.
Yeah, I thought they had only just finished setting all of this up, so maybe I missed something there. Oh, by the way, I should mention this week, as you may have some of you already noticed, the TFR was lowered back down to 2,000 feet at Massey's and 5,000 feet everywhere else. So that is why all of these images this week are even more crisp than normal, which is awesome. I always look forward to these low altitude flyovers because as soon as we get back to testing, it's going to go up. And there's a chance that this may be one of the last times it's not in place.
I wonder if they'll do that every time they test, or if they were only doing that because it's their first it's the first vehicles of that version, and they were being extra careful about it. Because they weren't when they went to like static fire like Booster 16, they didn't put a 10,000 foot TFR. It stayed 5,000 at the launch site. They only would put the unlimited TFR for flight. So I wonder if the only reason why they did that is because it was a newer version, and maybe they won't do it for Booster 20.
Or they're
you mean like in the future, like now that it's not worried about exploding on the pad or something?
Yeah.
Shouldn't say
or they're trying to frustrate the FAA. Well, it's up to TFR. Okay, now you can lower it back. Up it to get them to just fine. We'll just leave it at 10,000.
Hey Zach.
Yeah, because I thought
Hey, real quick. After seeing what happened over there at Blue Origin, I don't want to be flying near that.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I guess we could probably talk about that right now a little bit because there was a helicopter in the background there too, which was kind of
it's a
scary.
safety heli.
They probably had an awesome view. I wonder if they got it on camera.
Like I will say this. I'll say this for SpaceX testing versus what Blue Origin was doing. There's a decent difference here. Number one, when SpaceX does their static fire tests on these vehicles, when they intend to fire those engines, they put literally only the amount of methane they absolutely need, which is not that much, relatively speaking. They put a bunch of LOX in there. They fill the LOX tank up, but they barely put any methane in. Blue Origin, when they static fire, which I have a feeling the procedure is going to change at this point, both stages were full. So GS1 was completely filled with methalox, and GS2 was filled with hydrolox. They were completely topped off. Basically, they could have flown that thing. And, well, that happened.
I synced the audio on this because I always do that. People get mad at me for doing that, but I love it. I like syncing audio. Like, oh, the delay is nice. We like seeing the delay. Like, nah, let's hear it without the delay.
Well, if the delay is in sync with the camera shake for the shockwave arriving, then it's fine. But other than that, no.
It's
Yeah.
so hard to get a sense of scale of just how big that fireball is. Like
Right.
that,
And I mean,
that
like I was saying, the helicopter passing by, this, I'm guessing this is in the foreground. That helicopter's in the foreground
no, the helicopter's out at sea.
behind it. Yeah, it's okay. So it's behind
It's
it.
out in the Atlantic. That
I wonder-
just to
it's a-
give.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, just to give everyone perspective, that lightning tower and the fixed service structure on the other side, those are taller than Starship's towers. Those are taller than those integration towers. Like,
Not for long.
well, one of them's gone, the other one's going to be gone soon. Yeah. Either way, those two towers are taller than the towers at Starbase or the one at 39A or the ones they're building at 37. Like it's just the sense of scale here is hard to comprehend. It's kind of nuts.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see this from the helicopter because there's so many different, multiple different explosions in here. So like I think they said it was one of the center engines first down below.
Goes boom.
And then there's just so many secondary explosions down here. And then there's even a really interesting one when the
stack falls.
I think there's one of the QDs that are up in the middle. And so you can actually see when the QD disconnects and it's right there.
It rips open the side of the GS2.
Yeah, and so basically it's that QD disconnecting and then those propellants essentially mixing right at that QD interface, acting like a FTS essentially. Yeah, that's, and the COPV is just going all over the place per usual. That's like one of the things we've become used to. I think in the past, when we've seen Rocket, like, before we started following Starship program so closely, may not have known what those things were flying all over the place, but now we've seen it so many times that you just recognize it pretty much immediately. But yeah, I mean, that's certainly a pretty extensive damage to that pad, I would say. And it's really unfortunate for Blue Origin. I mean, I would never. Let me actually pull up some of the. Everybody and their mom went and got pictures that day. I don't even know.
Jerry definitely posted some.
Like it must have been like a waiting in line at Disney World at the helicopter place. every single photographer went out there.
Yeah. We didn't get any shots of the ocean facing part of the HIF, but I can almost guarantee those doors are gone. It's truly amazing to see what the shockwave or debris did to the fixed service structure there.
Yeah, it's quite the impact. I mean, I did kind of wonder. I did see somebody. This happens pretty much every time there's a structural steel failure. People start suggesting that it can be salvaged by simply replacing a few members. But I don't know if that is really
just
realistic
that thing
here, because I mean, you would think. I think these are welded beams. They may be using bolts to secure them, but I do think that all of these are probably welded. So, I mean, I don't know if it's really just as simple as holding the building up while you replace these structural beams. I imagine that the actual forces on this structure and possibly even the temperature as well exceeded what it was rated for. So I can't imagine. Alex, do you think a structural engineer?
I'm just the energy to shear one of those columns.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you could fix it, but exactly, it's sort of time, material, run some data and numbers.
Also, that's kind of
dangerous.
Huh?
I don't have a stamp, but I wouldn't want to put it on there if I did.
I would have put a stamp on, just because and just a survey and figuring out, okay, what deformed, how far.
Also, to
Yeah,
like,
was that
you'd have to go up to it, you'd have to hook a crane up to it, dismantle, and take out all the broken parts, and then piece it back together. Like, that's not simple. Like,
it
that's
probably
not.
is for time. It's one if you could, it would probably take longer
Yeah,
to shore it up,
and
cut
fix
and
it, then
replace the
just knock
members.
it down and fix it, and
Right.
replace it.
I mean, if it was a naval shipyard in the middle of a hot war and that was a carrier deck, that would be different calculus. But
USS Yorktown, what?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I do wonder if they like exceeded the ratings for these as well too. This actually, there is a name for it. I forget what it's called. Basically they have an acceleration, a mass acceleration limit essentially. So the smaller something is, the more it's going to accelerate when it gets hit by that force. And so like these are rated for a certain mass acceleration essentially. And so like pretty much everything has that type of rating. You're designing a pad to survive a specific type of environment. So in order to basically quantify what it takes to actually survive that environment, that is kind of how they do that rating essentially. And I think there's other values that they assign to things too, but that's the only one that I know of. Mass acceleration. I forget what the last word is. Mass acceleration. Maybe it'll come to me. But yeah, so I do wonder how all of the rest of the GSE equipment kind of like fared. Because even though some things look like they're intact, like, you could have, stress cracking and all kinds of different things that would happen with a lot of the equipment that's nearby. I mean, we did see
all welds would not be fun.
Like,
yeah, I mean, like, would you have to X-ray like every weld out there? Like,
you'd model what the stresses did, and then do a sampling, and depending what your data started showing, if it showed a bunch that were out, then you would just condemn it.
like, what was it? I know, Zach, you made that post and that comment about how long it would take for them to rebuild this pad, and I know someone lovely responded saying, "Oh, Amazon has some of the best logistics in the world." And I'm like, okay, Amazon doesn't build launch pads, so that's not equivalence.
yeah, I
And
mean,
then
that to kind of like just rephrase what I was saying in like a summary. I think we've all of us have been through this multiple times at this point, from Flight 1 to what happened at Booster 7, that explosion, to Massey's. Like we've seen these multiple times at this point, so
Like
we kind of
40.
have like empirical data to like know how long it takes to rebuild certain things. Whether we know everything that's out here or not, because we don't get the same kind of imagery, doesn't really matter. We know what it takes to build a launch pad. And this launch pad specifically was built over the period of, I think it was 6 years. And I think a lot of that was because it was like still in the design phase, and then also the demolition work is also factored into that time. But either way, the fastest anybody's ever rebuilt a launch pad after a pad explosion was is it Antares or Antares? I don't know how you pronounce it. That was 11 months after that. And supply chains, that was what the comment was that Amazon has the most sophisticated supply chain in the world. But this isn't about supply chains. I mean, to some degree it is. They're getting equipment in as fast as possible does help, but like
the person
the
who
fabrication
pointed it out,
and your supply chain doesn't affect amount of advanced supply chain can make concrete cure faster. You know what I mean?
Or it's finding room at fabrication shops. From looking at 39 pad 1 and 37, how fast they're going together. I mean, for me, their fastest path forward is accelerating if they can their pad B, 36B.
And that's the thing that a lot of I guess the point of what I was trying to make there is that, the fastest, I guess, that we've seen, which wasn't I guess it was a pad explosion, but it wasn't an actual launch pad, was Massey's, and that took 8 months for it to become operational again. So, and when that happened, SpaceX, their GSE team was preparing to build was in the process of building 5 launch pads. They still are. So their launch pad supply chain, as far as internally, involves building 5 launch pads, and Blue Origin was in the process of building 1, and now they got to maybe shift gears or build 2, right? So like the level of ability to make something like that happen quickly without external help is not necessarily. I mean, you can surge a problem like this. Like, let's say with Blue Origin, like they have all of their manufacturing team who really isn't going to have a whole lot to do over the next year. So they could move a lot of those people over to help out with this. But, having to train people for certain roles so they're actually able to be helpful in those roles also takes time, right? So like the difference is, yeah, you can surge it no matter how much you have a lot of money. You can put 2,000 people on it if you wanted to, but you still got to train them, versus at the time when Massey's happened, SpaceX had that team already in the process of fabricating multiple launch pads. They were already doing it. So yeah, it's a very different situation. And I mean, I can only imagine how difficult it's going to be to kind of recover from that. I think somebody else, one of the SpaceX,
Kiko.
Yeah, they replied, which I think is worth reading here. Yeah. So Kiko is the VP of launch at SpaceX. So he said, "While I won't comment on timeline, I will add that cleanup can be one of the more challenging parts of the entire project. In the initial days and weeks, you're using a scalpel, not a bulldozer. You have to first study and then precisely engineer the demo, as there are many unknowns with the state of the infrastructure. You also want to do your best to save the GSE that is still good. A miss on a piece of steel, mass CG, or unknown trapped pressure can quickly turn disastrous. The last thing you want is to make a tough situation worse by getting someone hurt or worse." So yeah, cleanup has to be done with a sense of urgency, but extreme precision. It's literally launch pad surgery. I like that last part because I've used that before. Yeah, wild situation for sure.
Hey, Zach, sorry to jump in. Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
So right now, I don't have my normal daughter asking me to ask the smart guys questions. I guess she
Your
is
normal
watching.
daughter?
My daughter asking normal questions. Sorry.
Okay.
You have a crazy daughter too?
No, I'm not going to say that on YouTube. So I guess
too
she's
late.
watching with a bunch of her high school friends who are also watching at home, and they all want to know where the HIP is in comparison to the launch site. They've heard a lot about the equipment that was in there, but they don't know where it's at. And she's getting texts for me to ask questions, so I figured I'd give you an ask. And hey to everybody at Silverton High School.
Where what is?
The HIF is in comparison to the launch site, how close it is, what's the best picture? Yeah, so that's what it is, but how close is it to the site?
It's literally down the ramp.
Yeah, it's at the yeah, this is the bottom of the ramp right here. So yeah, it's really close.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Close.
But they wanted to know they didn't know for sure. I'd seen the pictures, but they didn't know for sure, and I was getting texts from my daughter, from them to ask you these questions.
Yeah, the outside of the building looks pretty good, but I'm sure there's probably damage on the inside with that big of a pressure wave. I don't know if these doors are normally.
They got bulged slightly. We don't know what the doors on the other side look like, but I would not be shocked if the doors on the other side don't exist anymore, or at least got pushed into the hangar.
They're definitely
you
not.
can see how far all the shrapnel's pretty much through all of these tents. You can see that pretty much everywhere. Very, very tiny pieces, though. Like you cannot see like very many identifiable pieces.
Aluminum,
I guess at least
versus
from this range.
Stainless. Like I think is one of those things is Ship 36 didn't have nearly as much methane on it, and it's stainless steel. This was completely fueled and is aluminum, so it went even more into rocket confetti. basically.
And so is their second booster in the HIF? And was it damaged? Because some people say it was, and then there was a tweet saying that it wasn't, that was false information.
It's in the hangar. The booster they've flown twice is in that hangar, is in that HIF. It is not really known whether or not it's damaged or not, considering the shrapnel and very likely the fact that those doors are blasted in. I would not be surprised if that booster is not flyable anymore. But what they can do is they can patch it up, put it on display, because it's not like they're flying that booster anytime soon. And they won't fly that booster ever again. By the time they go and fly again, they will have probably a more optimized New Glenn, because, well, I'm guessing 18 months to redo all this. There's a lot they have to redo. 24 months. That's my guess.
Yeah, there was a lot of weird information coming out immediately after about, damage to other pads and stuff, which seems to have been kind of overblown. But yeah, I mean, I think that they will probably, hopefully, release their own more realistic timeline once they get out there to survey everything. But this is a huge pad. Like, doing cleanup at Massey is actually kind of easy in a way, because it's really small in comparison.
But that still took over a month.
Yeah, I mean, it takes forever.
Because one of the other things is you can't just check everything into a bin. If it's a rocket part and you want to figure out what went wrong, you need to make sure you figure out what's what and isolate it correctly, so you can analyze an anomaly or anything, unless they already know exactly what happened, which is possible. But who knows?
I wonder if they go out in here to actually search for everything, because that would be quite the task.
I don't know. It's sort of like all the debris that the last launch has surfaced around Pad 2 from SpaceX's previous confetti rockets.
Just think something that remains there forever. Yeah, I mean, this isn't exactly a very friendly place to walk through, I imagine. So,
I mean, even their chain link got wrecked. Off of, yeah.
The roof on their flame trench collapsed. And the TE is basically gone. Yeah. I think one of
did the roof collapse?
So the end of it, if you go back to that picture there, you see the end of the flame trench. It's not the concrete part. There's a steel part right on the end of the flame trench.
Yeah,
it's behind some of the wreckage of the lightning tower. If you keep going to the right, there.
Oh,
yeah, you'll see. Yeah, that. Yeah. It literally collapsed in on itself. That was a roof over the trench.
Wow.
Yeah. It's. And I bet the deflector on the inside is
toast,
completely trashed. Yeah.
That thing alone is probably not very easy to replace because of the way that it's integrated in there. It's basically encapsulated in concrete. So,
yeah, it's not going to be easy to fix this. It's going to take a bit.
I mean, that's the one thing that I don't like about Pad 2's, how tightly integrated the trench is. I mean, the deflector surfaces and.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I like it, but I don't at the same time in terms of having to make repairs. But I think it's better to seal it the way they did than to make it more easily repairable, honestly. I mean, they're kind of hoping that it won't have to be, but I mean,
plasma cutting stainless away from the surface and then grinding and rewelding is a lot easier to do than how they embedded parts of the frame into concrete.
Yeah, I mean, it's very similar actually to the booster bidet for Pad 1, because that one was technically embedded in concrete. So but not quite the same.
And I know people are going to ask, do they have spare parts? The answer is no. They don't have another TE. They don't have another lightning tower. They were putting parts together. As you can see, they've got sheet piles up there, and they have a CFA rig right? That's working. That's their second pad location. That's 36B. But that is in theory for 9X4, and based off of renders that I don't know, it might be vertically integrated. So that is not even remotely, if you were to rebuild this pad for 7x2, you would need a new TE anyways. So there's a lot they have to do. And
So
the two pads are going to be different if they build them for both new Glens.
it
So
seemed, I mean, there's a very strong case can be made. It's the same thing with pad 1 to pad 2 of just making it a complete breaking upgrade and just go with 9.4 and bite the
Yeah.
bullet.
You know
Unless
what I'm most
the
impressed with,
contracts, the
Alex?
water. Huh.
Yeah, I'm most impressed with this water tower because there's actually a kind of a joke that I put in this episode that I've been working on, which I had already recorded like months before this happened. Was basically, part of the reason why you wouldn't want a water tower like this at the Starship pad is because you have to deal with, the possibility of 70-meter tall vehicles falling out of the sky. But I mean,
it tanked it.
it survived a pad explosion. I do wonder if it's compromised, though. I have a feeling I wonder if it's structurally compromised.
I'm assuming it was still fairly full of water at the time, and just the mass of the water was able
Kinda
to help
It
it.
might have
Yeah,
helped.
yeah, because if that was empty, that much surface area getting hit by that shockwave, it probably wouldn't be standing.
I think one of the
Yeah.
legs did get bent though. I don't remember which one.
Oh wait, hold on. Is
Yeah,
that
that
There you go.
buckled.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one buckled.
It buckled there. So it almost
So-
collapsed.
I mean, is that enough to suggest the whole thing is done, or what? Like,
Again, it's one of those.
They'll have
Send
to.
it.
are you willing to?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you can do a survey to see how much how much plastic deformation it has, and then judge it from there.
Yeah, I would never
And
stand underneath
anyway.
that thing, though. Anyways, I suppose we should probably get back
Turn on the
to
water pump and see what happens.
Right.
We have a bunch of questions about that area. If you'd like to take them before going back to
Yeah, sure.
I was just going to say that. So, official Soul Does Stuff wants to know, would Blue have to redo all the plumbing inside of the rocket? His theory, or their theory, is that the cause of the explosion was maybe the engines or plumbing inside of the rocket.
I personally don't think we have enough information on that. I
It
don't
was
think.
Berger who said center engine, I think it was.
Yeah, but he also said that it was damaged inside of the horizontal facility, and then he walked that back. So, I mean,
Preliminary, use the 48-hour rule. Anything that comes out in the first 48 to 72 hours, just assume is hot garbage.
I mean, considering where the explosion started and what happened to the rocket after the fact, I would not be shocked if an engine blew up. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, I would not be shocked if it was because a BE-4 decided to end its own life and blow itself up.
I just found it very impressive that we were able to get such nice mixing between
It was like
and
perfect mix.
methane.
Oh, you think that's a nice mix? I mean, if this happened with Super Heavy,
oh boy,
it would be far worse. With that big downcomer, the transfer tube, it would be so much worse.
Like
I get, but it did sort of confirm SpaceX's 4-to-1 Mellanox mass to TNT ratios that their tests have been showing for the TNT equivalents.
I just personally, and this is just me, if a full stack goes fully fueled, like say an engine ignition, like this one did, an engine ignition, the entire stack goes up. Depending on how it goes, if it mixes as well as this one did, like the booster blows up, collapses, the ship QD arm rips into the ship, and then the ship explodes, kind of thing, or something like that. It hits one of the RVAC transfer tubes on the way through, and the whole thing blows up.
You've really thought this out.
Well, it's basically what happened to this one. How safe are you over at the office building? That's a mile and a half away. If that entire stack goes, I wouldn't want to be standing there. That's just me.
Somebody will retest her math. I mean, the thing is you're going to get the same energy whether it blows up or not. It's whether or not you're going to get the shockwave or not. That much methane burning will release however many 56 megajoules or times per kilogram times the stack.
Yeah.
It just depends on how energetic your kinematics are. So
Yeah, I mean, based on I have a friend who works at Roberts Road, and based on what he said he felt from 4 miles away, I don't think I would necessarily want to be at the on that front lawn during an event like that. I mean, what I told him, I was like, yeah, I've always kind of had like a weird, wanting to be present for something like that. And he was like, yeah, me too. I used to. And I was like, not anymore. He's like, definitely not. He's like, that was not what he said he thought a plane crashed into the building. So they were all like going to basically think they were going to, have to call emergency services for a plane crash. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely, exclusion zones are for a reason. Let's just say that.
Yep.
So you mean you don't want to relive Trinity?
No. I mean, as much as I would want to watch a launch from that lawn, I would be absolutely terrified, to tell you the truth.
I think I'd rather be in 37's bunker than on that lawn.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that would have been where
that
we can't see
blockhouse
it
is not
in these
going
images.
anywhere.
This one,
yeah,
or that.
Yeah, I would do that. I would definitely sign up for. I actually thought about that too. I was like, I wouldn't mind. Wonder if anybody was in there. I don't think they actually use it like that anymore, though.
Oh, it'd be spectacular.
Those things are like true bunkers. Like you'd need the rocket to literally slam into that thing at full speed to do anything.
Wait, wasn't
bunker.
During the Antares explosion? Weren't there people in the bunker?
I don't remember.
I thought there were. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought there were. Yeah. So next question, Indy. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's okay. Brian Ayres is wondering, isn't that the New Glenn first stage on the left of the building at the bottom of the ramp picture?
I think that's one of their Pathfinders.
Yeah, it's the Pathfinder they used for fit checks and other things. It's basically there's no tankage in it. It's just kind of truss steel with.
There's an image where you can actually see it.
If you go into Patreon Lounge, there's some more wide. There's a nice wide shot of the whole pad. They just use that for fit checks and transporter checks is all they used it for. It doesn't not tankage or anything like that. Yeah. It's like internal braces and some painted aluminum or steel or whatever the heck it is.
All right. Saeed's wondering, will they have to tear up and redo the concrete?
Probably some of it. Yeah. Like right on the pad there.
Hit it with a hammer, see how it rings.
Right.
Concrete's pretty resilient.
And not seen in this image because you can't see because it's behind the HIF. They have a transporter erector for the second stages. They have like a separate one where they static fire the second stages on. So I don't know what the status of that is, but not like it matters anyways. You can't really retrofit that for GS1 for their first stage.
Andrew's wondering, do you think Blue will conduct static fires with just the first stage and no second stage, or payload from now on?
I think once they get back to flying, I think they're gonna take SpaceX's approach of let's static fire only with the stage that we need to do it on, and with the minimal prop required, because if they have an explosion, it won't nearly be this bad.
Yeah.
And
Well, there is a possibility that their clamp system is not meant for anything less than what they had on the vehicle.
then you can
And-
design the clamp system at this rate. Then that's what I say you do.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's kind of what SpaceX learned. It was leaving. It probably sunk in that, okay, we fill the vehicle up to a point, and then we use just vehicle mass to hold it down. It's absolutely nutty insane.
It sounds smart until you like actually start to think about it. You're like, wait,
Yeah.
really? Like I for 2 years you could not tell me that the turnbuckles that they were holding it down with could actually like. I was like, well, surely this has to be able to accept some sort of TWR, like, But after Pad 2, it became clear that like, okay, yeah, like obviously they had zero ability to hold down any actual thrust. Like, that's just crazy to me that was how that was set up.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked, but super sketchy.
Yeah.
The pivot arms for the hold down clamps are absolutely insane. That's one of my favorite features was Pad 2.
They learned so many lessons and then implemented them all, basically.
Yeah, and then it'll be fun seeing some of the changes. We're already seeing them. We'll see some later today, actually, for Pad 2 or Pad 1's rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool. Next question.
Holden is wondering, what did Blue use the beefier lightning tower for? That they needed the larger structure with staircase.
I think this was supposed to be. I think it's the way it is because it was supposed to be used as a crew access arm in the future, right?
Yeah, that was their idea. Was they were going to use it as crew access arm and possibly other things in the future. So they made that one beefier than the standard triangle lightning tower they had. That's no longer there, or at least in pieces on the ground.
I mean, that is the one. I guess one positive thing out of this is that like this type of tower probably doesn't necessarily belong on this pad. It probably belongs on this one. So maybe they could build it back with a lighter duty type of tower. This one. This whole thing is going to obviously be very different, considering there's no space for this type of runway leading up to it. So they've clearly already about to make major changes to the design, which in my opinion means that the likelihood of them building this back the same way is probably very slim because they clearly were in the process of making a major design change on the pad anyways. So that alone makes rebuilding this, I think, take even longer because of the fact that they probably wanted to move away from this anyways. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that shakes out.
And I'll give you one more since we have to move on, as we have lots of photos you guys want to show for our regular show. Joseph's wondering, Later's wondering, how do you think the incident will affect Artemis 3?
Oh, it's HLS only. It's Starship HLS only. That's it.
Yeah,
Blue's not going to make it.
Unless they want to try something wacky and put their lander on Falcon Heavy.
They can't do that.
They
retrofitting for hydrolux.
Yeah, I mean to retrofit Pad 39A for that fuel would be extremely expensive. By the time
they
already added methane.
Yeah.
They added a methane fill through the QDs on the TE because of the IM-1 and IM-2 landers. You just got to bring in liquid hydrogen and just route it the same. I don't think it's going to be that much different to do that. The biggest issue is the GS2 stage was supposed to top off the lander once it got into orbit. However, the current version of New Glenn they were using is actually has less performance than Falcon Heavy does as a whole. So in theory, it wouldn't need to be topped off because Falcon Heavy could get it, and its second stage should get it through TLI on its own, and then the lander could do the rest of it rather than having to do its own TLI burn or anything like that. So
Yeah,
it could work.
It'd be an interest, and it would be NASA would open their checkbook for it.
Yeah.
Right, because I mean, can you imagine SpaceX being like, "Wait, so you want us to redo our parts of our GSE on our pad in order to do this?" Like, you're paying for that plus the normal cost of the payload. You're paying for the pad, basically.
If SpaceX gets paid to do it, SpaceX will do it. They won't care about the money. The funny thing I said is, well, now Amazon Leo launches are down because they're not going to be launching on New Glenn. So I said, so one of the ideas I had is, well, Blue Origin can lease out or rent out Jacqueline because they're not going to use it for at least a year and a half. Rent it back out to SpaceX so they get 2 transships again. Use Jacqueline for exclusively Amazon Leo launches on Falcon 9. There you go. SpaceX will do it in a heartbeat. They'll take the money.
Yeah.
Easy. They'll take
Leo by Falcon.
Yeah.
I think we'll hold more questions on this for later because it's we're at that first hour mark. So we will come back to that at the end if we have time. And I will, I guess, try and speed us through some of these next few areas. Was there anything else at Massey's that we didn't cover yet?
No, it was
really.
Massey's. There's a new LOX pump on the ground over the right. Hiding.
Yeah, I saw that. Are they just getting ready to replace one of them or something?
That's what it looks like. We're trying to figure out on show and tell which one it was, but it's elusive.
I think one had red,
yes.
red hook ends. The other ones had gold, or brown, or whatever color you want to call it.
Gold.
Oh, this is actually a really cool shot right here. I'm glad I came back here because I was. Wait. Sorry, I was just noticing it looked like these were disconnected, but they're not. It's just the platform over it.
But the platform,
this is really cool right here.
Okay,
Look how big this pipe is with this guy on top of it. I think he's torquing down these bolts right now.
Oh god, the kick on that impact wrench.
Probably be insane, especially when you're holding it like that. That is a huge pipe.
He's got another one behind him too. Look at the size of the socket on the end of it.
Yeah, those nuts are as big as his hand.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Alex, do you think this insulation gets hot during the day? Because we were talking about
a little bit, yeah.
Okay, because they had the signage up on the QD arm that said "caution hot."
Yeah,
and I don't think they were talking about what's in the pipes. I think they were talking about this sitting out in the sun all day.
Yeah, I think it's more of you're not expecting it to be blistering hot. Put your hand on it.
These guys are all wearing long sleeves.
Oh yeah.
Well, in construction, most people wear long sleeves anyways. It's usually cooler than doing the opposite.
Yeah, as minimal flesh as exposed. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's why they also have hoodies on too.
Yeah, it's really. I always like having a human first scale, especially with the GSE stuff, because it all looks so small from the air. But then when you actually get to see somebody next to it, you're like, wow, that is. And the stuff at the launch site, I think this is not as big as the LOX line at the launch site, or maybe it is the same size.
I think that's a 30-inch, but I could swear I think some of the methane might be up to 33 feet at the launch site.
That's insane. Yeah, these are really, really awesome images that I always wish I had in the past when I was trying to figure out how some of these things work. Yeah, this is awesome though. So I guess let's see. Was there anything else at Massey's?
Yeah, that first pump is disconnected. The only thing that has similar spacing is the grading on the top of the tower they built with the flap actuators. But the steel is not that deep, so that doesn't track. Because what it looks like is that you'd have a H-beam, and the vertical flanges would be like this would be sandwiched between them, and then those gusset plates would be welded to the flanges, but I haven't seen anything. The closest is, like I said, the underside of that top of that tower, but the square tube is the same size as this steel, so I don't think it'd work for that.
Yeah.
But
Definitely
some of
strange.
this H steel is probably getting close to that spacing. So yeah, whatever it's being welded to is probably. It's definitely looking more and more like its first test stand. Oh look,
Wow.
there's
This
service.
picture is crazy to me.
Yeah, the pump at the end closest to the. Ooh, I didn't.
Yeah, right. That's gonna have to come back to that later.
Yeah,
you're talking about this one.
Yeah, the far one looks like those. No, all of them look disconnected, and
Well, that's what I thought earlier, but they go under. It goes underneath the platform, right? So.
Yeah, but looking through the platform, I'm not seeing them on the other two. Look like they're exposed. The close. Yeah, those two.
Oh yeah, that is the flange, right?
Yeah, all of them are disconnected. Actually, they all are.
Okay, so I did see that right the first time.
Maybe Florida has repoed them.
Right. Let's see. There was a really good image that I had a second ago.
Yeah, good luck. I've been doing that, looking through these.
Yeah. There we go. Oh, sorry. What I was actually looking for was the flex lines. There they are.
Okay.
Maybe. Okay. Well, Alex, remind me to come back to this at the end of the show because.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff here.
In the meantime, we will go over to Sanchez. Was there anything in like the auxiliary images that we really should show? I think we should go to the port really quick.
Well, there's a lovely barge over there.
Okay, well, this is not the right group. Give me a second.
Other than that, there's a little bit of cladding for the ASU building over at the Brown lot, but that's nothing special.
Yeah, feels like a Tuesday problem.
Yep.
So basically, we did have man. Since they removed the name, I always forget which one this one is. Of course, I still love you.
You'll thank me later. It's the Marmac 31. It's the newer barge. The other one is just read the instructions and is still being modded. So
I was just thinking of a joke about "You'll Thank Me Later" being used to like transport boosters. But it's failing me now. Anyways, yeah, pretty cool to see this here. This is not the. So I'm guessing it's just temporarily parked here because obviously the transport stands are not going to be able to be loaded here. So, do we know where the actual loading dock
is? It's 10. It's closer to the end.
Is it this one?
Yep. So
they
like
did
that.
just they did put out a road closure from what the heck is it? It's a Huddleston to the port, which I think is that the Highway 4 lot with the turntables. So I wonder if they're taking the turntables to 39A to Roberts Road as well.
Yeah.
For Gigabay.
Yeah, it's the upper one with the barge on it.
What is this?
They're redoing this
dock.
Yeah,
it's basically another one of these.
Exactly.
Okay.
SpaceX used to get stuff delivered on that one previously.
Yeah.
And Event Dude says the barge is moving to Dock 10 at some point.
Yeah.
Which one is Dock 10?
I believe it's this one that we're looking at with the Emirate, and it's a pile. Yeah.
To this one, so they're waiting for this to get out the way, kind of.
Or
Maybe.
they'll probably come in at an angle like that barge is, that dredge.
That makes sense. Okay. Cool. And I think not really much to talk about in this lot. Same thing from last week as far as what's in here.
I'm still dreading why they're keeping those 3 deluge tanks.
I think they just haven't. I think they need something delivered first before they send these out. Like they're not going to just have a special transport just for these. It has to be convenient. I'm not going to pay for that.
Yeah, it's very on brand.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. We're going to go to Sanchez. So we're at Sanchez now, where we have more components of the launch mount that have finally started to, have continued to show up.
The top-down shot that we had, that thing was amazing.
This one's really cool. We'll go to that one shortly. But yes, the pipes for the flame deflector have been here for quite a while now. It seems like they have pretty much all of that. It looks like right now that they're missing all 4 corners still, and then this edge piece right here. And then once those come in, they'll probably get to work really fast. Quite a lot to do, obviously, but really cool that they have all of this stuff just sitting here ready to go now. Especially these sections of the pancake for the top deck. These are really crazy, especially now that we've gotten these overheads, so we might as well go to that now.
And these are all pre-assembled and everything. Yeah, this shot is so amazing.
Yeah, so one thing that we have not been able to see in the past, I guess with either of the other 2 versions of this, we really had struggled to see the whole pattern. To some degree, you can kind of see them. I guess we've kind of assumed that these areas where they were, these are actually plugs, aren't they?
Yeah. That they welded
they reach through to weld. I
Yeah,
think in the past we kind of thought those were actually where they were like shaving down where they had drilled the holes, right?
Yeah.
But the holes are much smaller than that. So.
I always thought that they would have the plugs on the bottom so that the top deck would have been. So, yeah.
Right. So, like, you basically weld it to the bottom of the top deck first and then add the bottom plate so that you basically keep the top clean. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, this is cool because you can see the holes here fairly well. And then when we get to
by the way, that's the methane one right there. So the methane QD sits on that one.
Yeah, right there where your hand is.
Yeah, that blank spot.
Without the area where there's no holes, basically. And then we get over to these ones up here, and you could see an interesting hole pattern. This one is kind of the same as the other one. I think this is where the LOX QD goes right here. Mm-hmm. And then the one under it, you can see a different hole pattern. They're much closer, like a lot higher density in holes there. And where's the other one? Okay,
right there.
Let's try and get. That's not what we want.
You could see it in that image. I mean, the crane's blocking it a little bit, but
patience. I don't know if this one past the crane is actually kind of a good one. Yeah. So you could see this fairly well, even though the crane's in the way. These hole patterns are just insanely different than what we've seen on the original launch mount, which is interesting because it makes me wonder if they're going to have to go back and start adding these onto the other launch mount. I'm not sure if they have already, but I feel like we would be able to see them if they did. But yeah, you can see that there's kind of this semi-radial pattern of holes, but they're just super tightly spaced, especially all the way up to the edge right here, which is interesting because the hold down, the hoods actually lean over the edge a little bit. And so like the holes have to be angled to not hit that.
Right.
But you can see that they, as you get further out, the spacing kind of increases. And so this is basically the area where the plume is expected to hit during the pad avoidance maneuver. You can basically see, even with the crane in the way, kind of see the arc of, it's almost like a temperature map, basically.
Yeah. It's very reminiscent of the original bidet with right under each of the engines.
Yeah, but this one is, I mean, I don't think the original bidet even had this many holes in it. I don't think they were this, yeah, like this is vastly different, which is interesting, like I said, just because it makes you wonder if they're going to start doing that with the current launch mount.
We were briefly chatting about last night the increase in gas gen count at the Cape. So this could be pointing to they've increased their hull density already, and that's why they need the added pumps for the deluge.
That makes sense. So I guess that would suggest they're not doing it here. I guess we'll talk about that a little bit more at the launch site.
I just, you know me, squirrels. It just popped in my head just now.
I guess we might as well just show that really quick.
And it's really leading to that pad 2 is again an R&D pad, but not to the same degree as pad 1.
I wasn't planning on mentioning this now, but
sorry,
we will. Alex has gotten us to. On
I
the subject,
squirrel.
and sorry, I'm looking.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I completely squirreled. It was not intentional. Jesus.
Let's see right here. I think this one will work.
You can't trust me with anything.
Nope.
So we can see the deflector bank right here. This is the apex, and then the top deck. And so we can see that they're in the process of adding additional gas generators to each one. There may actually be another one right here, but I can't tell if that's
a truck or a gas generator.
A truck. It could be a truck, but it doesn't look like a truck. It looks like it looks like another one, which would be crazy if they have 4 on all 3 systems. That's nuts. It's gonna look so much different than it will. I mean, and this is actually kind of the crazy part about this is like how do you? They made this decision after or before they even launched off of it, so there was no like data that they had that was like, oh yeah, we actually need to increase that. It's just like they somehow came to this realization without even launching.
I think they might have the bare minimum on pad 2 that they're using it sort of as accelerated wear testing. So they have a lower probably total number of expected to refurb, and then because that's the easiest way to get data is, well, we'll just run everything in the red the whole time and then see how fast it erodes. And then these are probably much closer to their current idealized solution. And
well, since you got me on this subject, Alex,
sorry,
I do think that. So these are for the apex manifold.
Yes,
and they kind of look weird because of they just look weird to me. Something tells me these are wider than they were previously. I have a feeling the apex manifold is going to be larger.
they feel a little bit.
Where's the other pieces to that?
A little bit for just past this. So it's a very top of frame.
But I can't see them here. So
yeah, I think you need to go one. They should be.
Are they way up over here?
No, they should be along that one of these walls.
They're by those trailers and stuff. They're right on the other side of the white
Yeah,
whatchamajiggies.
yeah, dead center. Yeah, we need to be looking the opposite direction.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, now you can see him through the trailers, Matt. Yeah, it's so close.
What is that?
That is another methane skid for a tank.
Oh, for the okay.
Another one.
I'm moving in the wrong direction.
Yeah, right area, wrong. Yeah, try
Go 3
3
to the right.
Yeah.
Whoa, that was too far.
Oh, I thought you said 3 to the right of the one that I was on. Okay, my bad. So 3 to the right from here. It's like, where's Waldo? Kind of suck at this right now.
One more to the right.
No.
That works.
This one shows it, but
oh, they're up here.
Yeah.
So I would need to compare these to the other one, but I think I feel like these are bigger.
The 2 flanges next to it. I mean, the 2 45s, yeah, which is weird that there's 2. It's almost as if they'd be filling it from both sides. Which
what they built the ridge for 39 here,
right?
Maybe they're gonna build the one for Pad 1 and then the ones for 37 as well.
Because it'd be cool if they see here.
Because for me, the easiest, those look very similar to the size of the other one. And granted, if it was 6 inches wider in a 30 instead, it's a 30 or.
What'd be cool is if that 45 is so that they can make the shoulder pads into manifolds. That
would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll get to that too, because there's. That shot shows it surprisingly.
You mean spray out of the shoulders?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that would make sense. And then
I mean, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that they don't do that.
I'm saying it would make sense for them to do that. Yeah, it is kind of odd that out of all the other spots, the shoulders don't spray out.
Yeah, especially
Which again, as I said many a times, it's like after especially the first launch, and then of course after that, a few launches after that, we're gonna start to see some decent modifications to Pad 2 because they're gonna be like, oh yeah, we should have done that. That's what they'll do.
I'm of the opinion it'll just go for when it goes for its first overhaul is when it's going that everything intentionally was made without as minimal as they could to accelerate the wear process.
My guess is, that'll be once Pad 1 comes back online in a year? A little over a year? I mean, they're not digging it out yet, but they are. The mounts part's starting to show up. It might actually be longer than it might be still like 18 months, but we'll see. But whenever Pad 1 goes in, it becomes operational again, they'll shut down Pad 2 for overhaul, and they'll make whatever changes they want to make to it. And then once that's done, then they'll have 2 fully operational pads and pick cadence up again.
Yeah, I have a feeling
they'll do.
Until 31 and 37 have to be up before it comes down, because I think Artemis is going to.
Especially they'll have 39A2.
Right.
But 37's still a ways out.
I could see them if they want to do if sending the rover on heavy happens, kind of stalling on 39, just depending if their checks are big enough from NASA. Because you won't want
it's going to be
one pad issue at 39 would cause a huge cascade to the space program in general.
Let's see. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out. Is there anything else at Sanchez that?
They've
I haven't done a lot of work with the breakover. The booster transport stands backed by booster cryo stand is backed by Megabay 2. There really isn't much else at Sanchez because the cladding guys have stopped for now.
Well, the one part of the breakover stand got some more pieces connected to the bottom of it, and then it looked like they were starting to put some clamps on as well. Yep, on that picture right there.
Oops.
the saddle.
Wait, this is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the little rusty pieces there on the bottom got added on.
Wow. Sorry to interrupt. We just got a $400 donation from Back the A. And he says, thanks for the show each week. Hopefully the super chat can answer something for me before the show ends. And they want to know about Alex's background. But we can ask that a little bit later. But the $400 is crazy. Thank you so much.
Incredible.
Thank you. Yeah, we can touch on that later.
Otherwise, you might go on for like 3 hours, right?
Or yeah. The details of my life are quite inconsequential. If anybody gets that reference.
Wait, is that from
Austin Powers,
For All
Dr.
Mankind?
No, Austin Powers from Dr. Evil when he's in therapy.
Quite inconsequential.
It sounded like the scene that they kept repeating when they were stuck on the moon.
Oh.
Yeah.
I should really watch that
so yeah,
too.
we have the booster cryo stand that's sitting here waiting for booster 20, and the ship static fire stand, which is waiting for ship 40. But that's probably going to be a little bit. Or do you guys think that we'll see that sooner than the booster cryo test? Oh, sorry, this is for 21.
Yes, no, that's for 20. 20 hasn't cryo.
I keep forgetting that 20 hasn't done it. Okay, yeah, you're right. So 20 has not done its cryo test, right?
20
And we can even see with some of the shots into the Mega Bay, in the Mega Bay 1, they still haven't closed out the chines yet, so they're still a little ways away. But yeah, 20 needs to cryo. Then they're gonna have to bring it back. Then my guess is they'll find any mods from Flight 12 that they'll have to add, so it'll do that. Get its engines, and then probably static fire. My guess is it's not going to static fire until like mid-July. That's my guess. I don't think Flight 13 is happening until mid-August, if not later, at this rate. There's going to be mods done to both ship and booster, plus the pad that they're already doing, and yeah, they're behind on testing. So
I'm trying to get my thumbnail bar here. Yeah, so we had looking into the bays really quick.
there's that angle. The chine's still open.
So probably won't come out until those are put on there. But we do have the actual chine covers sitting on the ground down here, which is pretty cool. In these little carts, basically. I wonder if they're manufacturing these at Starbase or if they're still doing... I don't know. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm not sure. I can't remember if they were ever doing the chines at McGregor. I feel like they were.
I don't remember. I wouldn't be surprised if it's here now, though.
Yeah.
We also happen to get a picture that just barely shows 22 on the right side, too.
You just like torturing Zach right now, Matt.
Yeah, it took me a long time to find that this morning, and I scrolled past it like 6 times, and I'm pretty sure I just passed it already. There we go. Okay. So basically, the LOX tank is complete for the most part. It's still missing the aft section, though, right?
It needs a landing tank, then the aft section. It just got the transfer tube like a day or so ago. So they have to weld all that together, and then 20 needs to come out, go to Massey's, then they can put it onto the stand in the middle of the bay to put the landing tank in, and then they can put the aft on the other turntable, then put the LOX tank on that other turntable. So
basically, 20 is in the way right now.
yeah. But I don't think 21 is even ready to go on the stand yet. They still got they got a lot more welding to do. So
I always love these shots into the bay.
still got scaffolding up around the common too. Common dome.
So we do also have the Gigabay, of course, which is basically nearing the topping out phase. They haven't really started the penthouse floor yet, but we do have a lot that we can see here. That's pretty cool, especially now that we can see where all of the bridge cranes are going to be, which I think we've kind of known for a little bit, thanks to BJ, especially with him keeping as close of tabs on the Roberts Road Gigabay as he has. But you can see the beams, or sorry, the what do you call these? Like footings?
Hangers?
Hangers?
I'd
For
call
the
them.
bridge crane rails?
Yeah.
On both sides. So we'll probably have... I'm still curious how many they're going to have across here. Because theoretically, there could be as many as... okay.
You mean per transfer? How many bridge cranes per transfer aisle?
Yeah.
The thought, I know BJ had this thought too. The thought I had was 2. 2, and depending on the size of the actual bridge crane itself, they might have access. They might be able. Each crane might be able to have access to every single cell on its side, but there's always the chance that they're too big and it won't. And one of them won't have access to the cells on one end, so it'll only have access to 10 out of the 12, which is not the end of the world, but
yeah,
my
that makes
expectation
sense. That they can move. Yeah.
I
Because
would expect
you
2
probably
per-
need 2 of them, possibly
for
for
breakover.
for the breakover.
Well, no breakover because they already have the breakover thing, but I mean 2 is very helpful. Like because if you're like considering how much they want to fly, how many vehicles they're going to have, like if you're going to be moving around a lot of vehicles around or picking stuff up from the transfer aisle and bringing it into one of the cells or something like that, you only having one crane per side kind of really limits because it's always occupied. So if you have 2, then you have more redundancy and more capability to do things. So I think 2 is the best 2 per side. Plus the stacking cell bridge cranes added onto that. So I think that's what everything they're gonna have.
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, I figure 1 would be able to hit 9, not 8. It just because I'm assuming the truck would be centered over it's the one closest to its wall.
Kind of hoping that they remove these before they do the roof beams, the roof trusses.
I think they'll probably remove them when they start destacking those tower cranes.
Which is after the roof trusses because they've been using the tower cranes to do the roof trusses. So
yeah, and you can see right by your cursor is the set where they're going to be reinforcing the tower on their next lift. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, so they have one more lift when they go up once they finish this level.
Yeah.
Another cool thing somebody pointed out yesterday, if I can get a right angle to see this. Oh, that is completely wrong.
I think it was Greg.
What?
I know that feeling.
Yeah.
I've heard myself sound exactly like that before.
So the each of these cells also get their own bridge cranes. These are the stacking cells on the backside, so you can see the rails for the hangers for the bridge cranes, and then you can kind of see that this one right here, I think, is being used as a hanger as well too.
Yeah, they put that
And
large
so they have this little, basically, I don't know what you want to call this,
notch.
a slot, a notch or a slot for that the bridge crane rails to fit into here, which is actually pretty cool because that way, when it's all the way over in that position, you can kind of service the gantry.
Yeah.
No, because it'd be on the. I'm trying to think of the orientation of this. So
Yeah, the two girders at the truck.
girders span this way, and the gantry's in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you basically can get to the side of it though once it's fully over like that. It's gonna be interesting seeing like how close the how much clearance there is between the overhead bridge cranes and the ones for the cells.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised they didn't try and. That's not a lot of when they went snugged up to that. That's not a lot of room. Now you can see it's a whole. Why BJ kind of thinks they might be stacking partially in the hallway in the transfer aisle.
That would be weird. I'm just thinking about this outlet. So these aren't going to expand outwards from here, right?
No,
they can't go into the aisle.
They could cantilever it a little bit over the aisle.
Well, when the overhead crane moves, the block will be in the middle, right? So it won't really worry. It won't matter what happens over here.
Yeah. They'll be everything will happen below.
Yeah. It's really cool. I guess we won't spend too much time here because there are a few other details to point out, but we could probably save those for the Tuesday show. Is there probably nothing at the Star Factory we need to talk about? I think we'll save all of this for the Tuesday show as well. But we can go ahead and talk about the new Rocket Garden as far as its progress. So this is the current state. They've started adding the support beams for the platform that goes up here. But I don't think we kind of figured any other details out about this yesterday. So
I would see them starting to outline for the stairs. That was one of the only other things.
And the wall on the top will probably do that weird bump out.
And you're talking about this wall?
The one closer to the back wall. How do you have the parallel? Yeah, and then they sort of angle it in. My guess is there's going to be a wall sitting on top of that, and that's why you have the doubled up.
To me, it looks like a concert stage, like where you have the huge screen in the background. Like that's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
It'd be crazy if they built this whole thing just so Elon can do presentations once a year, every 2 years.
We'd laugh, not because it's funny, because it's true.
Yeah.
I think we could maybe skip everything else that's in the village.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just checking the time. We're actually doing better on time than I thought we were. But there's a lot of stuff at the launch site, so let's just go. Actually, let's. Indy, do we have any questions that we haven't touched on that aren't related to New Glenn?
Yes, and we also have lots of donations. So we'll start off with the donations. We want to thank Felix for his $10 donation, and he says, "It's thorough analysis like this makes this show part of my Sunday routine. Thanks for the great content. We want to thank Space Watchers for their $10 donation, and they said a little help for fuel, cams, or the many things the team needs. Thanks, everyone. We want to thank This Guy's Guns for his $5 donation, and he said, let's get that goal, ladies and gentlemen. Keep RGV flying high. And then I donated $20, and I said, the images are so clear, the detail is mind-blowing. Well done, Mauricio. And then Yazada donated $5, says, I agree with Indy. These photos are beautifully clear, lots and lots of detail. Perpetual Nerd donated $5. Perpetual Nerd donated $5 and says, chip in what you can. These shots are amazing. Rockin donated $10. Rockin 79 is going to Starbase and had some questions for tips, if anyone had some tips for him. And so a bunch of people gave tips. Mauricio gave some tips. Matt gave tips. I gave tips. Lots of people gave tips. And he says, thanks for the tips for visiting Starbase. And he donated $10. Then we have Bob, who donated $69.99, $70 in Canadian dollars. And he says, thanks for all you do, RGV team. And then we have that $400 donation from Back the A, who is mind-blowing. Thank you so much for that donation. And then we want to welcome a new member to the team. Arthur just became a member, and we want to thank you so much. We want to thank Daniel Hogbin, who just donated 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. And then we'll go to the questions. Oh, and also Martin. Martin donated £5, and he says, these photos are amazing, RGV. For the questions, we want to ask, the first one is, you want Sanchez or just production?
Either is fine. All of them. We got time.
Okay, we'll start with Sanchez. Brian wants to know, is this the top side of the pancake or the bottom of it?
The top.
All right. And then Jacob's wondering, could the new hole patterns be prepped for V4 since these pancake sections would have been ordered before Flight 12?
I suppose that's possible. One of the things I think that's going to be required as a part of this, and Alex maybe can chime in on this, they probably will have to redo their PEA for this because they're clearly going to be pushing way more water.
Definitely. Yeah, because currently their PEAs they've called out, and just looking at I haven't done any math on it. It just feels like they're pushing out twice as much water as they were doing previously. And that's putting them right around their 400,000 gallons per launch PA value that they have for all 3 pads, or 3 sites, I should say. And yeah, it's more or less going to be sort of a sort of speed bump similar to when they raise the cadence. They'll probably do a submittal like that, and it might just be randomly, it'll just appear because they probably won't need any background. They won't do the open for questions and all that other stuff that they normally do, similar to how Pad B was approved.
I also kind of wonder if maybe this whole pattern also has something to do with the fact that on Pad 1, there will be infrastructure in this direction, like that methane farm.
Mm-hmm.
And so this could possibly be for adding protection for infrastructure away from the launch mount. And that's kind of the case at 39A as well. There's stuff behind the tower. Whereas on Pad 2, that's not the case, other than, they're not going to do this for the Gateway sign.
No. The other thing, in an odd way, except for the location of the methane QD, Pad 1 would be better if they decided to start trying polar or sun-synchronous orbits, but unfortunately the methane hood is going to be sitting in the same spot where it would get absolutely cooked when it tipped up. So pad 1 or 2 would be better for that. Unfortunately, it's hard to get a feel for how much waters are shooting out tower side on that side if it's the same as Highway 4, just because to me it feels like it's not as much water as they're sending towards the Gateway location. So yeah, I think when they decide to start launching that way, they'll probably also have to do some top deck modifications for pad 2.
Right.
It's weird that they're probably going to have to specialize what sort of decks or which sort of launch azimuths are going in.
Why are there 5 of these?
Some of those are the interior ribs.
Yeah, okay.
And those are different. They
I get
didn't
distracted pretty easily.
Yeah, those are different. They didn't have the inner notch at the tops. Sorry, I can squirrel on.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and
okay. I note
look
so
at this
far
stuff
are
closer.
Valparaves at Massey's, and yeah.
Cool. Next question.
Real fast, I also want to shout out a couple of PayPal donations. We got $100 from Kenneth C. Thank you so much. And another $10 from Yazada. Thank you so much. We appreciate all the donations. Next question is from Lev. They're wondering, how long will the B-20 take to do the cryo test and do a static fire, considering it won't do a 10-engine static fire? I hope for a mid-July flight.
Yeah, I said before, probably cryo in like a week or two, maybe. And then counting for installing engines, 33 engines back on a booster for the second time. And then mods because of Flight 12, because we're definitely getting back to that kind of thing, especially with how new the booster is. Plus mods to the pad. I would assume a static fire in mid-July, late July, flight mid-August, late August. That's my guess, anyways.
Definitely August.
Yeah.
Mid-August feels pretty accurate to me.
Ship 40 is gonna get static fired, filled with Starlinks and sitting in Mega Bay 2 waiting for the booster and pad to be ready. It's gonna be kind of funny.
Yeah, the demise of 19, I think, is gonna be the painful long tail for this for 12's Flight 12.
Okay. And then the next question is a follow-up question from Brian. He's asking, can't they just drill more holes when they need them on the top of the pad? Can't they drill more holes where they need them on the pad top deck?
They'll probably. They probably will. They probably have been, and all of those holes were drilled by hand, anyways. The ones for this new launch mount came pre-drilled. The other ones, they didn't fully pre-drill them. They had like starter holes, but most of them were drilled on site.
The top pancake were drilled. We have sights of them on the trucks with the holes on them.
Yeah, but I think they were just pilot holes.
There's light shining through, unless they enlarge. Hand drilling inch plus stainless 304. I don't begin to.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Well, they had like 10 guys up there doing something for like 4 weeks straight. So I'm pretty sure that they were drilling those out. But we could probably go back and double check that later.
Yeah, but for adding that density, I think that it would be easier for them to weld on tracks and use a water jet. Especially because if they're enlarging pilot holes, that would be a lot easier than trying to drill 1/4 inch. Yeah,
I do agree.
Unless you have stock and drill bits.
Maybe we should get some. Ghost Raptor's wondering if SpaceX is planning to build another gigabay, when could we expect them to start demolishing the megabays?
Huh. When this gigabay is operational enough, they can start making ships and boosters in it. Like they can't demolish the megabays until the capabilities of the megabays is now usable in gigabay, and that's a long ways out. So
Yeah, they need basically three of 6 of these, 7 actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. 7 of these workstations active, and at least 2 stacking bays active before they can move it over. Before they can even begin to start thinking about getting rid of these.
Yeah, and that's just. I mean, one theory is that Mega Bay 2 would just turn into an HLS only bay, but that seems very on SpaceX like.
I don't know with the way it lines up if that would work.
I don't. Yeah. I personally think that
Because it would be basically coming up against the opening would be right up on this wall.
yeah, I don't think it'd work. I think both megabays are toast, and by the end of this time next year, they probably won't be there.
Kind of excited for that.
yeah, not gonna lie, it'll be nice to see those go. Gigabay is way better in every possible way.
Right.
It'll be a sight to see loss, but like those
Actually,
megabays
hold
are
on.
What?
It goes as soon as they start V4 booster.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
one is does not have a long lifespan.
Yeah, one's lifespan is much shorter than two's, but both will take a bit to dismantle because we saw how long it took them with high bay, and these are decently bigger.
That would be such an annoying job to do.
To dismantle these.
Yeah,
I would just I'd bring shape charges and drop them.
I don't know if you'd want to do that that close to this one.
I'd tip it over towards the wetlands right there.
No, tip them into each other right towards the Remedios.
Yes.
Yeah.
They'll just
Alex.
like lean on each other.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's enough space to drop this to that direction,
Exactly.
even if you wanted to.
Either way, it's going to take a lot because they got to take the roof apart, then they have to take apart the concrete floors on both. And we saw how long that took with high bay. And then they have to then take in section by section. I still find it funny when they started to take high bay apart, they're like, they got caught in the wind. So they then went and checkerboarded the whole entire building to then take it apart. Like, if they do have to do that with Mega Bay, oh boy, that's going to take a while.
That's why I think shape charges are going to be involved.
Credence wants to know where your sense of adventure is, Zach.
I mean,
still want that tower down.
I just feel like they if they were willing to do something like that we would have seen it done multiple times by now.
Just put a new gland in it.
Oh, too soon.
Oh, too soon.
Yikes.
Yeah, until Booster 20 or 36 comes along.
Let's say Booster 36. They might just skip that number at this rate.
Yeah.
Booster. Okay, and Brian's wondering. Oops, sorry. Go ahead.
Let's say Booster 35, Booster 37. What happened to Booster 36? We're not going to talk about Booster 36. Don't mention it.
It goes with the Rocket Garden.
Yep.
Brian's wondering, when do you think the overhead cranes will show up for Gigabay?
August.
Yeah. There's parts showing up for Roberts Road right now, and they've only finished the I don't know if the roof trusses are entirely done. I know one side is entirely done. Because they're taking apart the bridge cranes on the east side. But I wouldn't Yeah, it's not going to be till later this year at this rate. They have a lot more work to do before they can even install those. So there's no reason to bring them in until you can install them because they don't have the staging area like they do at Roberts Road.
As I'm looking at the OLM, thinking about staging.
Right.
And last question, Kiwi Liam is wondering, could we please get a quick grass update out in front of the factory?
Not just grass, they put in a lot of bushes and trees as well.
Did they install them?
They did. Every single one of them.
It looks actually good. That looks pretty good,
Considering
what it used to look like.
Yeah, it looks like some street. These drains are streetlights coming in.
Hopefully lights.
I'm
Otherwise that's
pretty
a
sure
dark
they're.
road.
I'm pretty sure they're drains. I've seen them from ground shots before.
Yeah, it looks definitely super nice. So does the what's the Rio West? Rio West looks really good too.
Mm-hmm.
Save that for later.
And they covered that roof with solar panels, so the mud isn't so obvious.
Then you would just get mud on the solar panels.
But it'd blend better. Aesthetically, it'd be more pleasing. No.
And Crane Man snuck in one question. He wants to know, will the Gigabay towers come down the same way the Roberts Road Gigabay tower cranes?
Mm-hmm.
Gigabay TC crane?
Yeah. Waiting for that crane to show up, though. That crane has to show up first because that crane, they also need a decently sized crane to keep doing the cladding, and that hasn't shown up yet. So,
yeah, and the cladding helper crane left a couple weeks ago.
Well, I will go ahead and move us over to the launch site, and I think we'll start with the ASU.
Yeah,
since we'll probably get through that fastest.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to. They're finally cladding in the compressor hall, and they're building it the exact same way they did the mega GSC bunker or service, not the one over by R2 or D2. I forget the gate names these days. Man, pull my Starbase card.
Me too.
Yeah, so they're cladding it with their precast panels. So yeah, they're not taking any chances. They're starting to assemble the supply pipes. Whoa.
I accidentally clicked.
Okay. It's like, no, where are we going now? To connect the air underneath those little welding tents.
So these are, you're talking about these right here?
Yeah, they're going to be the outlets from inside the compressor building to eventually feed the pre-purification stage right there where your mouse was at. So hopefully soon they're going to have that finally plumbed in. Then at front, somebody has the fun job of finally setting up all the electrical.
It's going to take a while.
Yeah. I mean, when you just dig out the entire front,
like,
so that, yeah.
That kind of made it easier, right?
Exactly.
The piping on this, I mean, I know a lot of this was kind of modular hook in and everything, but like hooking up all the electrical to all the components in the ASU, plus the compressor, plus the control bunker, plus to the water cooling system, like, holy cow, it's going to take a while.
Oh, yeah.
Just pulling the wire is going to take a ton of time.
Just pulling the wire, let alone hooking it up through junction boxes and cannon plugs and my goodness.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is finally that's going to be a bit
I hope
of
we
it.
get to see it before they cover it.
It's going to just be a sea of conduit.
Because they should do out here, all the way out through here over to here, right? So
Yeah, it should be the main supply should be coming.
And a bunch of those will be going into those 3 boxes on the right side there as well. They'll be cutting access holes into those.
Right. We
That
still
is going to
haven't.
be. That is truly going to be nuts because literally right there is where all the conduit's going to be happening, and that's going to take so long to. Oh my god, that's a lot. It's just so dumb. Oh,
I think this is normally why they have those on overhead cableways.
cables, yeah.
Yeah, and the water cooling is coming together. They're finally connecting in all the water pumps to the water chillers, and yeah,
It's crazy having images this clear.
I mean, you can almost some of them you can see which train they're using for their water chillers.
I can read that
You
guy's
can
name
literally
tag.
count the bolts on these.
Yeah, 18-inch freaking water lines.
I mean, when you go to try to compress a bunch of air and then
It's
turn it into liquid,
a lot
that's a
of waste
lot of
heat.
energy. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot of waste.
Do they
heat
need
'cause-
their own storage of water here too?
It looks like they're going to be using a sort of a sealed or more or less closed cycle. I'm having a suspicion that there's going to be a bunch of direct expansion heat exchangers across the roof, and they're not going to be using water cooling towers.
Okay, that makes sense. So they won't need a continuous supply, essentially.
It'll probably be one of those. They'll be losing some coolant, but it'll be zero, air quote, zero loss.
Closed loop system.
Yeah.
Right on the outside there, Alex, like right out in the dunes there, they should build one of those nuclear reactor cooling towers.
Oh, that'd be spectacular.
It looks so cool.
I mean, they should build one of those around this ASU to protect it, but
literally put it around the ASU. Yeah.
Yeah,
considering the line of
I'll
fire.
never get over how much I hate the position of this thing.
When the blast wall goes up, it'll help. Except the top of the cold box is in the low pressure column is going. Hopefully, that's
well
built.
The good news is I would say it's better positioned than the vertical tanks were, but I mean there was 1/6 of the amount of, or sorry, 1/3 of the amount of exhaust pointed towards those tanks versus what's going to be coming through here, even though it's slightly further. I mean, at least I got struts on the tower, right? But
right. And I think that blast wall from the plans is it's over 20 feet. So
I wonder what kind of wind
didn't make
rating
an
these
effort.
are rated for. Like, what kind of vacuum load are these able to withstand? Because as we'll see in a few minutes, things at a distance can still get damaged. We also have some work going on in the front of the tank farm, but I don't think this is related to that, right, Alex? Because all of the plumbing probably was going to...
The plumbing is probably going to be crossing from the beach side of the traffic circle. That's where was diagrammed out on.
Okay.
So that way it'll barely inconvenience the construction and slightly inconvenient beach access for a day or two when they tunnel across.
They should be able to. They should be able to. Well, no, that's going to be a big line. Actually, it might not be that big. They might be able to tunnel underneath it without disrupting anything, right?
Probably they could, but it looks like they're using those precast vaults that are sitting
I forgot
around.
about those.
Yeah.
Where are they again?
They've moved them down to the trapezoid piece. Is the last place I saw them. There's some there, so which those look small to me, but
They
It's
do.
Starbase scale.
So any idea what they're doing on the front up here?
I think they're
'Cause I
good.
can't remember anything being down there other than conduit.
Yeah, and they're digging down to the conduit too. If you look, they're
They getting ready for the new tanks, maybe.
and
So because the new tanks are going to go all the way across. As far as we can
so
tell.
yeah, it looked like they had drilled piles all the way across, and so far they excavated 2/3 of the way. And they
You're
keep
still thinking
drilling.
2 more liquid nitrogen tanks and then the rest methane?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty safe assumption because they cleared out all the old pipe works that they had, so they're demoing that last bit of that concrete block blast walls that they had originally for the methane farm on the Highway 4 side.
Oh, this
Yeah.
That's gonna be a lot of methane they're gonna have.
Can be a lot.
Well, I think it's I don't think it's going to be anything more than what's already here. I get
Yeah.
the feeling that they're waiting on these until that's ready because these will be needed to basically cover what happens here when they move these over. I think they'll just shift these 4 over, leave these 2 here for now.
Oh, and then the 2 ribbed ones are just gonna go bye-bye. Finally.
No, I think these will stay here. I'm trying to make sense of why they even put the footings there in the first place. It almost seems like they did it just to have a place to put them, but I'm pretty sure they're going to actually stay in this location, and then move these 4 on over to that side, and probably get rid of these 2 when they do that.
Well, there's also the 4 tanks at the port, but they do have 4 methane skids, so yeah.
4 methane skids. Well, with the methane, they will have to basically they need double the amount of what's already here, right? Because they can't just move these ones over. They're gonna basically put new skids over there first.
Hopefully,
I'm trying to see if there's better top down of that. Not quite. This is busy.
What I really wish they would do is fix that pipeway and get rid of all the locks from it.
Locks and LN2, they run down the locks and LN2 line.
Right. All the unnecessary stuff that's still on there.
Yeah.
I don't know if how easy it would be to get them out without cutting them into smaller pieces.
True, and it's normal construction. If you don't budget for it, nobody's going to remove it by choice.
Yeah, you left that 1 tank over there unused for
ever
half a decade.
Right.
Literally.
And I think this is going to be hopefully our final iteration of offload stations that they're putting in.
Oh, they're redoing it again?
Yeah. I mean, they had all the offload stations are staged over at Sanchez. Unless they finally removed them, but yeah, they were just closer to the Grand Fab building. But yeah, they were all staged there for months.
I suck at this.
Yeah, they're still there.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're there.
Yeah.
These?
Yep.
Why do they have pumps? Or are those just valves?
So they're just actuators. They're going all fancy again.
Yeah, these things are big compared to the ones they have now.
Yeah. They might be doing combos so that they can offload and fill at the same time from the same setup.
You mean like take stuff from the ASU up to Massey's?
That would be what I'm alluding to.
Interesting. I was gonna look for a better picture of that, but I will save that for later.
Yeah.
what else at the tank farm, Alex? I think that
Pretty much it for now. It's just pile parties and
wait. I'm
what?
trying to think of where the second set of embeds. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, they're right in front.
Okay, so these ones are going to move. Then I forgot.
Well, they both have footings. I mean, they're both sitting over the piles, both of those embed locations. So yeah, they eventually probably are going to move.
Well, what I mean is like the simple fact that there's a second set of footings means that these are not going to stay here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not long term. That's not their final resting area.
All I want.
Oh, I got distracted. We were talking about offload stations. So, do you think that maybe? Ooh, wow. Do you think that maybe they're gonna peel this? No, they just plant trees here, right? I was gonna say, do you think that they would peel this wall back a little bit so they increase their offloading capacity?
Or do a drive-through for once in their life.
I'd hope they would do drive-through and just angle them.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's space for that.
No, once they put that power bunker in. Originally, right between the power bunker and those transformers, they did the curb is set for a driveway, so they could do a drive-through. Yeah, wow. I didn't even look at this shot yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
Squirrel.
Doesn't.
Yeah,
tight turn.
No, the driveway would be past there's a cutout for a driveway just past the new power bunkers they put in.
Wait, but so they actually could theoretically come in like this.
Yeah, but the driveway they have the cutout for is right to the left of that bunker, between the two. Yeah, if you head to the left, you can see between the two plants. There's right through there. They have it already, the sidewalk and everything for a driveway.
Oh, so maybe that will happen. But
I don't want to get my hopes up.
I'm going to live in hope that they can knock down the wall and do a drive-through, because having everything back up and offload is just stupid. I'm going to be honest, it's just stupid.
It's fun to watch.
It is.
It is entertaining to see them get stuck in the mud. They were doing that a few times. It gets entertaining, but
What's this about?
That's a new driveway they poured.
We're getting into here.
I mean, I look at that and it looks like for room for a couple trucks to back up, but yeah.
Watching them, the shenanigans of the refuel after the wet dresses and the attempt for Flight 12 were utterly hilarious.
But for once, it looks like they did put some drainage into this. Yeah. So that's why fingers crossed that this might be their final iteration.
Yeah. I mean, for all we know, they could be about to do this little slope all the way down.
Hopefully.
You can live in hope.
Oh, they decommissioned the methane offload, it looks like.
I am trying to find it at this right angle, and I keep clicking on the wrong. Sorry, which one are you talking about?
The one we were just at. No, the offload point. Yeah, they're dismantling it. No, they didn't.
Literally.
No, they didn't. I was high. That it looked like that crane had that connection pipe.
It would have been funny if they only used it for Flight 12 and that was all it was for.
I mean, this is literally the worst offload station I've ever seen at Starbase.
Yeah.
As far as positioning.
They don't know they don't know how to make an offload station if their life depended on it.
I won't go that far. I'm just saying they make use out of the area that's available. But As far as
okay.
doing that, this was the worst possible one.
Sure, because they back in trucks at 39A too. It's like, come on, you have all the room in the world to do a drive-through. You back in trucks at 39A. What kind of nonsense is that? Like, come on.
They just need to look over at the Lind ASU plant for how to do loading and offload stations.
But the Lind one
Like-
can only do like 4 at a time.
Yeah, 4 or 6 at a time. But again, at 39, they have room for just putting a
Really, really big offload station where you can do like 12 in a row if you really wanted to.
yeah.
Do they even need that at 39?
Until they
Don't have
build
an
an
ASU.
ASU, and
Oh yeah, good point.
I don't
Yeah.
think unless they ordered it ahead of time, and they're not, horse trading.
Oh, if they haven't ordered it, they're not going to get it anytime soon. That's
Well,
for
I
sure.
mean, even if they ordered it, there'd be horse trading to see if they want to sell it to another potential client.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
like-
a bunch of people who want those right now.
I was about to say, I would assume the lead time on ordering an ASU is like several years.
It's a lot longer today than it was 6 months ago. Let's just put it that way.
And on top of that, if someone makes a higher bid, they're more likely to get it. Then I assume, but
Oh,
that
and
shouldn't be a
those
problem for
people who
SpaceX.
might make a higher bid are the richest people on the planet. So,
Yeah.
I mean, they make islands just because.
seriously, you're not going to outbid people who make random islands like that.
Yeah,
Let's make the island the shape of a palm tree.
That's the hilarious thing is like even Elon would have a hard time outbidding like the Saudis or Kuwaitis or Emirates. He'd have a hard
There's like
time.
six countries that you got to outbid.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to outbid OPEC. Basically, like you have to outbid one of the richest entities on the face of the planet. Good luck.
Yeah.
Like,
Any other tank farm stuff, Alex?
Nope. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it touches on geopolitical, so.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's just like good luck because there was a lot of stuff that was damaged and everything. But anyways,
You know what I really like seeing? Concrete from the air. Fresh
Right?
concrete from the air. I don't know what it is, but it
They're
just always
just-
looks
they're just-
fake, you know?
It is fake.
they're just making patches is all they're doing.
Yeah, this is just what, like a little 4-inch pad, maybe?
Pretty
Maybe
tight.
6?
Yeah, it's probably 6 because, yeah.
Yeah,
Something that'll get
4 would be a
demolished
little
later.
sketchy.
Well, I mean, it's the only purpose of this is probably to put these trailers on top.
For sure. It's just some of the heavy equipment and stuff would likely crack a 4.
I think they prefer cracked concrete.
It simplifies their demo.
I mean, it is true because if it's not cracked, how are you gonna pour more concrete or break it up again? It's what they love to do the most.
So, Alex, this is going to be. We should be seeing a bunch of methane tanks over here, right? So, I mean,
Eventually.
that alone, yeah. Like, but I'm guessing that they'll be lined up on this side in that case.
I think this is normal SpaceX. They're pouring a work surface, and then when they decide to do the tanks, they're just going to cut it and drill a bunch of piles.
Cut holes, rectangles. Into
Yeah.
it and- yeah.
Yeah, at some point when the entire concrete slabs are in there, all of them hooked together, they'll just come over, cut everything out, drill all the piles, then set up everything, and then modular roll the tanks and all their valve skids and everything over, and then hook it in. But I don't think that's all going to move until they have the cryo trench from this location out, so that they can literally move everything, hook it in right away. So I think it'll be a while before that happens.
And maximize work disruption during the process.
Yeah. So we probably have to wait until they have cryo lines running from this location that hooks into the tank farm before they do that.
So we'll probably get walls all around the perimeter of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably around the whole perimeter. I would assume.
Yeah, sucks they have to do that stuff, but every time there's a launch, we get more confirmation about why it's necessary.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
And that's
moving
also
over.
where the more water you use on the deluge, the more mass you have coming at you. Just compounds.
As far as steam goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
air
Add
pressure.
one.
So, okay, well, what I was thinking about as far as the holes, I would actually expect some to be biased more towards this direction, since that, to try and help out what's happening over here. This whole deluge system is probably going to be different. Probably going to be much larger. I think that that spare pipe that they have on the other one that they haven't used yet will probably be used on this one first.
Yeah.
Where do you think that's going to hook in? Or where do you think they're going to use it on?
They're probably going to have a curtain going across straight down. Like basically on the bottom of the launch deck.
So eventually they'll add something to pad 2 whenever they get a chance to do it, basically. Or they get to the overhaul stage on it.
Yeah. I'm kind of hoping they do it sooner rather than later, but yeah, like mounted basically on the bottom of this.
Yeah,
just spray water down or whatnot, basically.
Yeah.
Definitely for the enclosed
you can see
wall.
that they need it. we'll
oh yeah, the wall, or at least spray. Maybe Maybe they think they spray towards the walls, basically. Yeah.
The other place would be as if they do the shoulder pads as their independent deluge sort of system.
I would think.
Wait, we'll come back to that in a few minutes.
Yeah. We'll do that in a minute.
So we got the basically basement of the bunker being formed out here.
Yep.
Yay.
And yeah, those strips are for welding down the pipe work. And the light gray ones are going to be for the columns.
These columns?
Yep. Those, and then there's one more set just to the, right there.
So I'm confused. This spans across this as well.
Yes.
And then ends like right here.
Yeah, because this one is inset a little bit from the other one. There's a gap.
That's funny.
Yeah, if you look the top down of the gantry, the wings are slightly inboard of the front face.
The thing I was laughing about was, I guess, more tanks arrived. So
at the port?
Yeah.
Nice.
Which port?
I sent it to you, Zach.
Brownsville.
Wow.
Looks like at least 2 tanks. Yeah, 2 more cryo tanks.
Okay, 6X makes sense.
Yeah, that would fill up that entire row, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Which, okay, that's just came borderline insane.
Big thanks to Event Dudes for that find, by the way.
So this is 1 second. So this is two tanks, right? And so that makes, hold on.
That makes 6 total.
That's 4 at the port.
Uh-huh.
Plus, so 6, and then, so we still need 2 at Massey's. So subtract 2. There's 4 remaining after that.
Yes.
And then,
so far.
So far, yeah. So then here, Jesus, 4 here, and that means these aren't moving over. What,
I
wait,
still
actually, no,
think
you
so.
could fit
Yeah,
4 here, and then these 4 could fit there.
or at least 2 of them could probably.
Maybe the 2 big ones go there, so that's out of the
Oh,
way there.
Yeah, these are
oh,
bigger. Are these
Well, also too, if they take
they're the
those
same?
rib tanks out and send them somewhere else,
no, I don't think we're gonna get that lucky.
I
I
doubt
wish.
it too. But you know, we were saying earlier they might just be temporarily sitting there. So just a thought.
Well, the funny
You got to
thing
keep at
is,
least one reminder of Flight 1.
Yeah,
the funny thing is I know they moved those there and they were doing like some welding work and everything, but when I really think about it, it's like, okay, if they wanted to get rid of those, they could get rid of them. And if they were, it's like, but they can't store them at the Port Connector Road. There's no room at the Port Connector Road to store them right now. So, like, if you wanted to get rid of them, you would literally have to keep them at the launch site until like a spot opened up to get rid of them.
yeah. I would
I
have
heard there's a
welded
place in Florida that might need some new tanks.
through, and
It is
I've
funny. Go ahead.
go on.
Sorry.
No, go.
I was gonna say it is funny how many tanks they're bringing into Starbase, considering how many tanks they're gonna need at 39A and at 37. Like, they still need like a significant number of tanks at 39A, and they don't have anything for 37.
The
Like,
ones at 39A are bigger than these, though.
Yeah,
yeah,
I have a feeling that the 2 end tanks are going to go back to Florida.
those 2 big
Is that where they
ones.
came from?
Yeah, they were originally supposed to be for retrofitting natural gas for a ship, and that plan went, or they're either they're going to make natural gas tenders, barges with those, and that fell through, and then they eventually,
What do you mean by that?
there was I think off of Fort Lauderdale, was it? There is a shipyard that was going to start retrofitting for natural gas fired ships. And so what they're doing is for some freighters and stuff, they're actually attaching tanks of that size to their decks so that they can convert them over from heavy oil to natural gas.
I'm guessing these are ships that'll never pass through the Strait of Hormuz then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah. Panama Max for only.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
and Suez. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. No, these are Pacific only. So for now, yeah, no, the Cape has they've standardized on their larger tanks, which yeah.
Said you sound disappointed or annoyed.
No, wait, I was just thinking because those are coming from Turkey.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, a lot of this equipment comes from the Middle East, and there's lots of demand for those skills. So hopefully they have good contracts.
yeah, because cryo tanks are in short supply, and boy, do they need a lot of them. Blue's gonna need a few more too now.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
I think there's a chance that those tanks are probably good.
No, I mean they have planned upgrades, is what I'm saying. They have planned
Gotcha.
upgrades to expand the tank farm plus add subcooling. I don't know if they had most of that already there. But of course they'll still need extra tanks, but they probably ordered them a while ago already. So
Anything else for Pad 1? We're still waiting for them to. There's a lot of things that still need to happen with Pad 1. Chopsticks, definitely some modifications. It's missing some things on there right now, like the landing rails. And then with the GSE arm, that is probably still, we're expecting, going to come off. Do you guys think that they're going to put it down here?
Yes.
that's if they modify it and not scrap it, which I could totally see them scrapping it and just building a new one from scratch. But
Close
we'll
can you
see
get to the edge of this property?
The silt fence is, I think, about a meter off of the allowed construction
My
area.
God, please put it there. That would be crazy. I will personally travel down there if they put it there.
Yes.
Is that all it takes?
I mean,
Yes.
to watch them modify an SQD arm at like point blank range would be pretty cool to watch.
I mean, you could probably hear the conversations from that close.
Definitely.
And our Dune cameras would get some absolutely astounding footage of them building that thing too. I would love that.
And anybody, they're definitely reusing the OG piles for the deflector.
Yeah, these are the. Is this one of the legs?
Yeah. Yeah, they're cased.
Yeah, I mean, the big cases that they put on there, and then stayed on there for months on end until they actually did anything with the stupid things.
Wait. Hold on.
And then they had to shim it, and all that jazz.
Yeah, some of them are the legs. Yeah. And some of them are the new ones that they added post.
Okay, yeah, these two are legs.
Yeah.
But this one looks like leg too. So that's weird.
I know that some of the additional piles they put in.
They had sleeves.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was the really because they added a bunch of really big piles, didn't they? That was part of the rebuild.
Yeah, they did a bunch of the cast in place ones and not the CFA, which they're both technically cast in place, but
technicalities.
Yeah. Yeah, they cased a lot of the new ones they put in just because that soil was so compromised.
Alex, you said you wanted to talk about other differences between pad 1 and 2.
Well, there was the main one we already touched on, which was the running change for the top of the deluge deck. So far, that's a major one. There's some subtle ones that aren't as quite fleshed out yet.
I can't wait to see what that looks like, honestly.
Right. And then the only thing left on pad 1 is top. They're already started to modify the roof to the reinforcing it.
With the
slowly but surely
panels that go inside, plus the
yeah, they're clearing it out. They've put those angel platforms. You can't see it from this. You can see it on the far beam, but it's not. I don't know if we have an overhead shot of it, but yeah, there's a little green one. There's Todd's little platform. Yep. Yeah. So they're getting ready to. Exactly.
Nope.
Yep.
It looks like you can already
scaffolding.
Almost? Yeah, it is, and you can see the doublers. They've started welding along that beam.
Yeah.
So
they're starting to do all the doublers, so they're getting to work on that now.
And cutting off the old tabs that never were used. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I would be willing to go on that thing.
A lot of cameras they got to take off there, though. Too.
True.
Yeah.
And
I know some place to put those.
Why is this up here?
They're probably torch heating some of the steel.
Okay.
Which seems kind of crazy, but where you have welding blankets, but whatever. And yeah, they've hopefully we'll see where the new weather tower goes, because I haven't checked to see if they have a FAA doc saying that they're going to be building a tall weather radio mast near here.
Because that's funny, because there were those two FAA docks over at the Cape where they had one near 37 and one near 39.
Yeah.
And it was like comms and weather, I think, or something along those lines. And I was like, I would have expected them to have one for here and then plop it like, I don't know, you plop it near Hopper or something, or I don't know,
I mean,
or
Top
put
of
it
the Giga
somewhere
bunker.
along.
the NSF little plot would be a perfect place for it because it's far enough away, but not.
As long as they allow us to put cameras on it, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, anywhere on the tower, just blows.
Anywhere, if we even halfway up that tower, because that tower is like 400 feet.
Right.
The towers at the Cape. Like,
Yeah.
yes, please, I will take a 400-foot camera on there. Please and thank you. Yes.
Hey Ryan, quick question. Have you hit the like button yet? That doesn't sound like an answer, sir.
I get the joke. Thank you.
Wait, so is that a no?
No, I have. Sure.
All right, cool. Good. Just checking.
Yeah.
Checking.
Yeah.
I think a lot of
3
people in
seconds
chat
ago.
haven't done that, so maybe you guys can help us out. Let's move on to pad 2. I hear my little cousin running upstairs with her flip-flops on. So sorry if that noise is coming through.
She's a little burnt in a few areas, but all things considered, it's not that bad. You know?
Yeah, the brain patterns are certainly interesting down here. You can definitely see like where the spray out of here is somehow hitting down here. I don't get what angle that's coming in from. It might be some of these closest pipes right here spraying directly right there. But you can also kind of see where the top deck crests over.
Yeah.
So there's like almost like a recirculation zone in the middle of that.
There's two reflections. There's the plume reflects is why you're getting that angle
down here and up.
And yeah, that's a second reflection. It's off the bucket. The upper one is where the first impingement, where it reflects, where it's clear. So you're having multiple reflections off of that deck, depending where the plume hits it. But yeah, the hottest part is in that bucket, or it should be the hottest location, because that's where most of the energy is being redirected most severely outwards.
Right.
Because you're trying to de-energize it a lot on before and after the first reflection, just to minimize. But yeah, that bottom area should be the hottest location of the trench, just from it stagnating.
Right here.
And you're also going to get a lot of that is probably more coking, just because of incomplete combustion. You're not getting hardly any afterburning because it's pretty much all the fuel-rich exhaust is kind of safely cocooned inside the plume, as well as some of the DSS curtains that they're doing to keep air out. So that's another gag they're trying to do to minimize. That's the other reason why you're getting so much of the plume exhaust is where more of the afterburning is happening as well. But yeah. So that's, I think, has some more soot components to it than necessarily all heating discoloration.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose if it's not actually removing any of the surface, then it's not a huge deal. But I suspect that if it's possible to keep everything looking like the rest of this does, then
that's the ideal. And like I said, I think this is probably the minimum amounts of cooling, because they're probably wanting to accelerate the wear patterns so that they can better optimize where they're putting cooling in the future. So
essentially, you think they wanted this to happen?
Yeah, part of it's somewhat sacrificial. It's easier to get empirical data than to run simulations, because simulations you're assuming your model is accurate, and if it's not, meanwhile empirical data is reality. Yeah. So
I think the outer wall is interesting too.
A lot of heat's coming through that little gap.
Oh, that little gap is so stupid. I hate it.
I
hate
I
it so
wonder if
much.
they'll go like,
It's
maybe
funny.
we'll cover it up
It's-
now.
It's funny in the overhead because you could just see the flame come out and get sucked back in, but it's so stupid. I hate it. It's like, why is it there?
Tell us how you really feel.
I mean,
Well-
maybe for some reason, maybe. Okay, I'm going to try and justify it right here. Maybe there's a huge negative pressure zone in here.
You want
Because-
it negative. You want it to pull air through that annular space.
But exactly. So like you only have so much space up here to actually pull air through. And so this gap is allowing air to pull through here. Like maybe they want that. They need that air pulling through here.
And that wall, by it being able to vibrate, you're eliminating a standing wave that you'd be getting across that surface from bouncing between the two walls. Since that one wall would be vibrating, it would tend not to form a standing wave. The harmonics would broaden essentially, because there's the two corners. If it's not burnt hydraulic, and that is local heating on the two edges of the apex, they are having some resonance inside of that is causing some superheating on those two, right in those areas. And they've
see this.
Yeah, I put in live comms from the 15th. There's one of the shots post static fire that shows it pretty well. It's local heating in those two corners, and they're welding on that again in this flyover. There's
this area.
Can I just say how funny it was? It's related to the deluge a little bit. And I just say how funny it was. They put the notch in that on the tower side of that deluge pipe, and then they still kept the flap tucked in during stacking.
Yes.
Yeah, I was
hilarious.
That almost like I was worried that the flap was going to come out and there was going to be like so much clearance that whole theory was stupid. But then the fact that they kept it closed, I was like, wow, that is.
So you went through all that, and then you kept the flap closed.
Right.
It's too good. It's too good.
At least there's one thing to, dislike about. I guess I'll let that crack slide. Since it maybe has an actual functional purpose. But this now that just looks silly, guys. It looks silly.
The only thing I could think of is if you're trying to lower the ship down and you don't have control of the flap, and the flap's sticking out, you might be able to clear it, like post landing.
This is. This, I guess, on the surface up here, like you really can't see. I guess on this inner edge,
it's a little darker.
It's a little darker, and then
you can see it burn
back here in the corner.
There.
Yeah, that they probably needed more to let more water exit towards the tower.
Yeah, because what I think maybe is like kind of happening is that there's more. You're probably going to get, or the closer you get to this corner, the less water is actually going to make it to those holes, I think.
Yeah. Well, you might have a V channel.
No, the manifold is on this side actually, so it shouldn't matter actually.
But if the holes are drilled so some are shooting, they're angled so that you're going to get this V channel avoiding the tower, there's going to be this nice little channel that does not have a V shape if you're looking at it pointing towards the tower, so you'll get more bleed through.
Do you think they drilled holes in this strip?
No. But it looks like they did in the one at Sanchez.
What do you mean? Like, we wouldn't have this part on already, right?
That's the part that when they weld it, so that they can weld the bottom half.
Yeah, they add this after.
Yeah. But
I wonder if we'll see them come out and drill a bunch more holes at some point before the next flight.
Yeah,
Maybe.
or they'll just let it erode a little bit more and then do it.
Get another few flights
the back
at
of
that
the back of the arms look remarkably good, or the doors.
Yeah,
which is probably the one area that's technically not being protected.
Yeah,
I also think like part of it is the thing's clearing the pad so fast. Too, once those doors close and the thing clears, it clears that pad so fast with that. The new thrust to weight ratio is hilarious compared to the old one. It's hilarious how much quicker they can get this thing out.
And I think they're quasi air cooled by how much air it's getting entrained and
getting
pulled
sucked
through.
in.
Yeah,
because it's a massive negative pressure zone right at the opening of that, with all the exhaust pulling all that in.
Yeah. It's a good design.
Get some external damage out here to the concrete, the little wall that was there.
The wall that wasn't designed to take a Starship launch, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where did it go?
They've already demoed it.
Okay.
Yeah,
it didn't demo itself.
It self-demoed, but yeah.
Yeah, it fell over right at the launch.
My favorite is right where your cursor is. That's a crane mat that just got buried.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there's a crane mat right there underneath.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that's from the
image.
Yeah.
That has to be from when they originally, filled in that new area right there.
That's a parking lot. Because that wall was the end of the wall before it met the curved section that had the Gateway, OG Gateway.
A Gateway sign? If anyone thought that sign was going to survive that launch, I don't know what to tell you.
I think there's a reason they never hooked up to electrical.
Well, they never repaired the lighting on the inside or put junction boxes. And I think they had it up there and were like, well, let's see what happens. And it went gone.
They needed the drone shots.
Yeah, right.
And I think the V2 sign is going to be on the way. And the holes that they drilled in for the electrical are for the V2 sign. And maybe that's why it never sort of visually, the sign was balanced on that area.
I wonder what the V2 sign is made out of.
Yeah, this is just me hitting the copium really hard.
Right.
The holes, you're talking about the holes through the wall?
Yeah, for the electrical conduits. We're in a terrible spot in relation to the actual letters, where it's like you could have just had those emerge behind each letter, and you wouldn't have had the surface mount conduit running either direction. Hey, a big crow just flew by.
The new one will be Gateway
to...
Sorry, Rex. Go.
No, I was just saying I would have inset the letters into the wall in a way that the conduit runs behind them. Because, this whole thing is formed out anyways, so I might as well form out little cubbies for the letters.
I would have painted it and put ground-mounted lights.
Honestly, they could have even used the letters themselves as forms.
Right.
Wired up the letters inside of the concrete. Inside of the rebar.
True.
Mm-hmm. And then poured the concrete around the whole thing.
Yeah. Or just
Yeah.
inset it and tiled in with some nice shiny white tiles.
The next sign will be Gateway to Mun.
What is this?
That's a lift station.
But
Pumps. They're pumping all the water from Highway 4.
well, I know okay. Sorry, I was looking at this the wrong way. I was kind of confused. Do we have any idea what's going on down here in this area yet?
I think it's going to be a pump house.
Water.
I expect to see a circular tank on this, but
I know. It's
Why would they
Maybe the
ever
tank's
do
gonna go here.
anything logical?
yeah.
To be
Yeah.
honest?
Yeah, I think that concrete there, especially from how much they've already demoed, was just temporary niceties for the and this it looks deep. This looks deep for them making a foundation just for the privacy wall.
you think this is for a wall?
I originally thought that was for the continuation of the privacy wall, but with a big vapor barrier underneath it now, I don't think that's what it's for.
What do you think it's for?
I think they're building another building there, unfortunately.
I'm glad Starship Gazer got these ground images when these gates were down.
Yeah. I wish he would have caught that corner of that building that we haven't got to yet.
Oh, good point. Yeah, he should have been able to see that, huh?
Yeah, I haven't gone
Maybe it
back
wasn't
to look.
damaged then. Well, I guess now that we're on the subject.
I don't think it's from the launch.
Actually, it would have been kind of hard to see, though. Kinda.
He had a shot straight down the transformers. Oh, yeah, you're right. It might not have been visible.
It'd have been a little
Actually-
iffy, but yeah.
Yeah, he probably can't see that.
But for
But
those who
yeah,
don't
we
see
got some either damage or construction. But with the way that these are taped off down here, I don't think this is construction. It looks like actual
It would be
crazy somehow damage that occurred to this, which I don't fully understand the mechanism behind how it's even possible.
Something would have had blown up inside of that. Because if you look at the screens on top next to those condenser units for the HVAC and the HVAC now on top of the building itself, don't look like they're damaged or moved.
Yeah, and because these AC units are fine.
Yeah, it would have been something inside the building that let go.
By the way, do these blow outwards, or they don't pull air inwards, right?
No, they just pull from the bottom and exhaust. So, yeah, those are the condensing units for those air conditions.
Yeah, I was about to say these probably don't have the greatest time during the launch, the plume when it pulls through here. They probably don't like
So
that.
Alex, what would be inside of that building that could make that kind of an explosion, do you think?
I mean, if there is high pressure, if they're using nitrogen for anything, high pressure nitrogen, it let go. Because it blew outwards, and there was nothing from this launch that would have made a huge. There's no shock front that went by that would have left a low pressure zone behind it.
Yeah, unless some magical way you had shockwaves reflecting off something and hitting that, but I don't know how the hell that would even happen.
But for it to blow outwards, you would need negative pressure outside of it, and generally you get negative pressure behind an actual shock front, a la what happened at Slick 37. There's a huge, and that's why when from a nuclear blast, all the buildings explode outwards. Yeah.
Well, and there must be either a ton of infrastructure inside or maybe a dividing wall or something, because there's zero damage on the other side of the building.
The other half of the building they did reinforce with concrete block 6 months ago. So
you're saying the entire inside of this building could be totaled right now?
If it was from the launch, for it to blow outward something, because again, everything around it is fine.
Do you think this could explain why the chopsticks didn't come back down?
That definitely is probably why the chopsticks didn't come down. If this was launch damage, that they lost some of their ground control support.
They had to do it manually from the drawworks.
Yeah, and then that also brings up some other side interest of questionable deluge run, how long it actually ran for. Because I think everything was.
You mean like if it cut off early?
Yes.
I mean, I thought it did, but
It
I was talking about it told me that I was seeing things. So
didn't. When it vented, when it vented, most of the plume was gone. I would have expected it to. We didn't have any of the post-launch flows that I caught from any of the shots after re-watching it, so that's a bit of a mea culpa, Zach.
yeah.
So maybe those 37 deluge tests the few days before put stress on something inside of there, possibly, and it finally just gave up.
I know that in the other buildings they flirted with using liquid nitrogen for parts of their air condition, I believe. Because remember the big coolant tank they have, they were running that back to the cooling loops back to the ground bunker, the fluid bunker. And I don't.
Here's a thought, Alex. Here's a thought that you're gonna like. What if they have like a pool of liquid oxygen in there?
Ooh, that too would bring a little fun to the party.
Like, how do we know? We don't know how far that pool is going, because there is most certainly a pool of liquid oxygen. What if that migrated all the way to that building, and like that is probably what led to whatever happened?
That would be insane.
I mean,
I'm not saying you're wrong.
Oxygenated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and you wouldn't even have to necessarily enter the building if there is any duct work pulling anything in there. Then it would just be pulling straight oxygen.
Yeah, I mean, it looks. I didn't even think of the chopsticks not coming down, but yeah, that's kind of pointing to something very bad happened inside of that structure.
Something
sucks.
Blew
it sucks
up
that we
in that structure.
Why did the wind blow the way it was blowing? Why couldn't
right?
Right.
I mean, it's sort of like they have the cloaking device on for it intentionally.
This is like the closest we get right here to being able to see it, and it's.
I like that you just likened SpaceX to the Klingon.
Hey.
Or it's either a Klingon or a Romulan cloaking device. I don't know which one.
Well, there you go. Romulans too, even better.
So that could cause problems, I guess, if there's lots of important equipment in there that got damaged.
Yeah, I think they're migrating that to the other building because the sheer amount of armored HVACs they put, it's hiding the shadows. Yeah.
But we never saw that amount of conduit run to this building, though.
There was a ton of conduit that was in the ground there.
To begin with?
Yeah.
They may have just dug dug out the floor and accessed it or something after they already built the building.
Well, they did. They had
There's no way.
The way that they designed that floor is floating on a slab, and the actual building is sitting.
Hold on a second here. I think I can. I'm usually pretty good at just grabbing a random date and finding things. So let's see if I can.
Oh man!
I remember we did see a decent amount of conduit run to that corner, but I mean, not as much as we're thinking.
Like what? It's SpaceX. They could have easily just dug into the ground once the building was done and routed a bunch of conduit in. It's not beyond them to do that.
They've snuck in whole sides of OLM pieces, and we didn't know it
That's true.
recently.
Yeah. Like a lot of the OLM parts that are arriving, we haven't seen them arrive.
And there's gas
I found an
generator.
image of the hole in the ground, but I don't see the. It'll probably take me a while to find the conduit. Yeah, but either way, this is definitely a problem. As far as depending on what's in there, but we know that the whole tower's brain is probably in there.
Yeah.
I mean, the SQD arm reset, so there was that. Or was it out for the whole time? I can't remember if it was.
The arm swung.
The arm swung back in, so at least that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
the sticks were stuck.
Yeah, and
or whatever.
Anything that happened before the plume started interacting with the top deck is probably when the shockwaves would have been. Because for a while, yeah.
I wonder if basically they were getting ready to reset everything, like bring the sticks down and all that other stuff, and then they realized they blew the building out, and they're like, it's the weekend. We'll deal with it on Tuesday. They just because they didn't load the sticks till Tuesday. They stayed up all Memorial Day weekend.
Them pumping out the electrical vault, they probably lost power.
They were doing the SpaceX two-hand salute.
Why is there water down there in the first place?
Groundwater. There's seepage all over the site.
Okay, so they just
those all have sump drains in them.
And it doesn't really matter until you need to get down there.
No, they usually keep it pumped out, but if you lose power, then it's gonna just. I really won't want one of those go near those junction boxes if there's any groundwater in them. That just sounds like bad plan.
Trouble.
Like great day. Yeah, so maybe liquid oxygen got near, or nitrogen blew up, or something. But something inside that building exploded.
Yeah,
and they lost control of a few things.
Yeah, half of the building looks fine, and the other half right at the seam.
Oops.
Yeah.
maybe this
maybe
building will
it's
finally
a good thing
away.
that they hadn't replaced this part of the wall.
Right.
Because if it was more contained, then that probably would have just made it even worse.
There's something on Abram tanks blowing open to vent.
The cook off, so you don't burn the crew. Yeah.
Yeah, it did that. The building did that.
It cooked off the ammo.
I can't tell if there was damage down. Ooh, what is that?
Are those?
Is that an embed plate? A new embed plate? No, that can't be new.
No.
The deluge farm looks good.
Yeah.
Nice and clean, like nothing happened. This is probably the best, most well protected part of the pad as far as having a plume of water spraying at it.
It's going to be the cleanest tanks at Starbase forever.
Yep.
Forever. Yeah. They're going to constantly get washed every launch, literally. So is the isolation and purging will get cleaned every launch too.
Well, the nice thing is that they'll get, a little water to loosen stuff, then they'll get a nice steam clean, and hopefully, if the deluge runs longer, then they'll get a rinse cycle.
Yeah, because for landing.
Yeah.
Too. And then they'll activate during landing, and they'll get another rinse. Yeah. They will be the cleanest tanks in the history of SpaceX.
Oh, that can't stand.
Do you think this building will be the longest lead time item for Flight 13?
It depends if they're planning on keeping it or if they were starting to relocate services to the adjacent building. Or even the building they moved back from Hoppy. We don't know what.
We didn't predict that it would get destroyed, but we did predict that this was a stupid building. So
And there's a group of people at SpaceX going, "This is why we can't reuse old things." Every time.
Maybe we shouldn't reuse a suborbital bunker for for the most powerful rocket in history. I don't know. Something could happen. Not that it was the rocket that caused it, but you know what I mean.
It's plume adjacent.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
So okay,
Check
this
out
is
the
good.
suborbital walls.
Anyways,
V3.
one
Next
second. Sorry, I was trying to go back and get a better angle of the full pad. What do we got going on the roof?
They're finally adding the finishing off the attachments for the window washing gear,
Yeah,
the track
for
service.
cleaning. Yeah, the rail service, track service, whatever you want to call it.
Hopefully they inspect those welds, because you just look at those plates and go, those look like, especially what we've seen when the plume hits it.
You're talking about up here?
Yeah.
All I want is a couple of cameras on the top of that thing looking up when they go to land a ship. Looking up
Seriously.
at the ship.
I never noticed them add the cameras in the front until
Yeah, they did it right before launch. I think it was like right around the last booster static fire they added those. Or close.
And
to it.
and I know on the left one, black in one, the upper hole, there's a camera behind it from one of the, I think it was.
That's the one that watches the engines go by the tower, the top of the tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the cool one. I like that one.
Yeah, I just can't
Mandatory.
wait to see what camera setup they put for a ship catch, like staring up at the ship as it comes down, as it does its flip and burn.
Yeah.
We're gonna get some amazing drone shots of that. I cannot wait for that.
Whatever goes up here will have to be well shielded. It'll probably
Oh
come in
yeah,
a very big
might get
box.
cooked.
I don't know. I just say strap a bunch of GoPros and let them give their life for
IMAX camera.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I was thinking this should be a ramp. Like this should be. Why is it a wall? It should be a ramp.
Reasons?
Yes, I think a ramp with a little kick would be beneficial. Because
yeah, I don't know what just made that come to my mind, but it did. So sorry. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what they do as far as cameras up here. What is this post for?
Originally, it was where they were tying off before the railing was installed, but
Since when is there a second stairway?
A couple weeks ago.
Clearly missed that.
Yeah, I missed it as well, because it's like, what are you guys talking about? A second entrance up there, and then this one, I'm like, oh, that.
This is sorry, I was trying to get a different angle. Indy, do you have any questions for the launch site?
Yes. Event Dudes points out for that ramp you were asking for, they don't own the land out there, so it would shorten the inside amount of usable crete.
I mean, they got it a lot.
I have a feeling that they're going to have to do a land trade and get this acreage, because they're just abusing that little piece of
Like, look at that patch
parkland
from the static fire in the launch. It's got fried.
It's like, oops.
My bad.
Yeah,
we'll start with donations. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, there's a second where when the vehicle starts pitching over, and it starts sucking in all the dirt from underneath. This kind of cracked me up during the launch. Yeah. Anyway, you were saying?
We'll start Yeah, we'll start with donations. We want to
Oh.
thank Crane Man for his $25 donation. And Crane Man said, awesome sharp pictures, great show. Small donation for the next flyover. All the best, Crane Man. Thank you, Crane Man. We also want to thank Sharpie for his $5 donation. And he says, refreshments for the commentators. Thank you, Sharpie. Martin, we want to thank for his multiple donations. He donated £5 and then he donated £2. And then he donated another £2. Thank you so much, Martin. And then Rezi donated $2 and he says, kaboom. Yes, Rico, kaboom. And then we'll start with the ASU. We have questions for the ASU. James is wondering. Oh, there's James. James is wondering what type of gear is in that PDC.
PDC.
What, a personal defense cannon? Is this the Expanse?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's what it came to mind right away. PDCs.
Something deluge? Something?
What was it? ASU? Was it a pre-purification? ASU pre-purification unit? But that's PPU. That's two adsorption towers, the two big beer keg looking things. It's ASU. They're using that to absorb some primarily water vapor, some CO2, and organics. So that's the purification where they're cleaning up, so that they're trying to essentially just have nitrogen, oxygen, argon, and trace elements going into the cold box, into the heat exchanger, the primary heat exchanger.
Okay.
So yeah, that whole
And
skid
then-
back there that's all the pre-purification unit.
Okay. And then Gio's wondering, the old ASU at Sanchez didn't take as long to assemble. What was different? It looked old.
This one's
It did take a while to assemble.
Yeah. And this one's substantially larger.
And that thing almost like never got used either at Sanchez. Like
It did.
no. It did.
It got used constantly.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is still a curious location for putting it, but
Martin's wondering, why don't they use the heat tiles on the deflector?
heat tiles would shatter from the tiles are not very strong to mechanical energy.
Those would vaporize.
I was hoping I was going to eliminate that question 3 years ago, but I failed.
Surprise!
I failed.
Yeah. And the beer keg looking
When's
things are pressure or temperature swing adsorption columns. So TSAs. I was trying to see where they're not using pressure swings. They're not using pressure swings for their purification step on this one.
Oh, the landing rail. I just remember.
Oh,
that.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I guess we can talk about it quickly because I do have to leave here in this minute. But they are swapping out the landing rail. This was, I think, right before they had pulled it off. Both of them have been removed, and you can see this new one down here, which Ryan Hansen Space pointed out yesterday. The holes were originally only on one side, so they basically cut it. They have holes on both sides, so kind of to reduce the mass, essentially, and kind of allow they're basically trying to allow the arms to move as fast as possible. And so they're basically shaving off weight where they can. They did add a substantial amount of reinforcement onto this, which they probably, performance-wise, wish they didn't have to do. And so I think that's probably one of the ways they're countering all of that extra reinforcement that they added on. And these additional little bumpers on the end. Yeah. That about does it on that. Gave a quick explanation. Do we have more questions, Indy?
We do.
Let's
Owen's
do
wondering
like two
when
more, and
finished.
then I may have to get out of here.
Okay, sounds good. Owen wants to know. Okay, so let me start with a different. Well, let me just finish that one. Owen wants to know when finished, will this be Pad 1 again, or will it be Pad 4?
Oh, it'd be Pad 1. Pad A
Wait,
is
what?
actually the true name.
He's wondering if they'll rename Pad 1 to Pad 4.
No.
It's Pad A, Pad Scrap. That's its true name. Pad 1 and 2 are so stupid. But anyways.
Willem is asking, looking at the current pace of construction, do you think Pad will be operational before the end of the year?
Pad 1? No.
Yeah.
No.
Nah.
Those were your two questions.
End of
Would you like one more?
27? I would say end of 27. Be my guess.
Yeah, there's probably a solid year of construction to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it gets kind of disrupted every time there's a launch too. So
Yeah. Just a wee bit.
Mhm.
I keep forgetting about the embeds down here and that they're at some point going to put a huge box here, but they haven't done that yet.
Probably before the first catch.
Yeah, that makes sense. Assuming they don't catch over the launch mount.
I think the plume will, that's in the danger zone because they did put Fondag all around in that area.
Yeah, true.
Unfortunately.
Fondag's
a bad word.
Oh.
Fondag's a bad word. It's a naughty word.
Yes, it's not a good word.
Well, I suppose if that's all of the questions, then we could probably wrap things up. And sorry to kind of cut it early, but I do have to take care of a few things at home. So we will also be able to go much deeper into this on the Tuesday show where, believe it or not, we have probably, there's a lot of areas that we haven't covered yet that we just normally don't get to in this show. So if you guys want the extended version, make sure to tune in for the Tuesday show. I think I'm really, really excited about the outcome of this launch. I think that, the fact that it looks like it was barely touched is really good. And I think other than the damage to this building over here, things turned out probably, as good as they could have possibly expected as far as at the launch site. So well done to the Stage Zero team for pulling that off, because literally 2 years ago, I did not think it was possible to build a launch site that could be reused more than 100 times. So I don't know, may have changed my mind on it, but the jury's still out. We'll see. I think with some additional modifications, it'll definitely probably get to that point for sure. But yeah, with that, I will see everybody on the next. Oh, actually, I don't think I'll be here next week. I think Stephanie will be back next week. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But yeah, I will see everybody next time. And want to thank everybody in the chat who donated. All the mods, of course, Andy for handling questions and donations, and Alex and Ryan, and Matt and Ryan. Wow, sorry, Matt for running the stream in the background. So shout out to Matt as well. And of course, Mauricio for getting up there and getting these low altitude images for us. These are always my favorite ones. So if you guys haven't downloaded them yet, make sure to do so, especially if you got gifted a membership today. You should have access to the images and you can download those. Sorry, I just saw something in the chat. Yeah, make sure to download those. There's just a ton of them. And like I said, the low angle ones kind of feel rare these days. But yeah, with that, I will pass it off to Ryan and see you all next time.
Yeah, pleasure as always coming on here. It's always fun to talk Starship, especially with Zack and Alex. Always gets kind of fun. And with Matt and Todd and Indy here, it's always fun to come on and talk about it. So I'll pass it to Alex.
Yep. Well, thank you, Zach. Thank you, Matt and Ryan. It was always fun. And yeah, no, my background's very boring. Originally was doing chem and engineering stuff, broke my wrist, and it's frowned upon to have a cast on in advanced organic lab. So bumped over, did post-production for, I don't know, 15, 20 years. System engineering, by the end, was doing data center build-outs for renderings, post-production studio builds, and of that nature. So if you need data center work, I can tell you how they're done, how they run, how power, air. Did software engineering primarily for infrastructure, rope render farms, managed multi-petabyte storage clusters, InfiniBand networking, Hippie networking, 140 and 100 gig Ethernet networks. The last place I was at was managing, I don't know, a global deployment, bare metal deployment of probably close to 50,000 nodes spread around 150, 250 point of presences, complete hands-off installation. So just one button, hey, burn the server to its ground, and within an hour had traffic drained and rebuilt and back into production status. So yeah, nothing that exciting, pretty dull.
Sounds
So
like it.
yeah. Anything, any other questions, Tuesday show. But yeah, so the whole data centers in space, I have lots of from the trenches opinions on the subject. So they're not as dumb. It's not as dumb as it sounds, but it is crazy. So yeah, and
We like crazy.
just from managing, hands-on managing from servers in very questionable locations in the world, there's certain challenges that are very fun to solve when you know you lose physical access to a box once it leaves the door, and managing anything from firmwares and updates and everything, and just monitoring them adds a complete dimension that there's a lot of those problems are a lot of fun to solve. So
Sounds
anyway,
like we figured out 1 hour's worth of the Tuesday show right there.
oh yeah, it just lights off managing and setting up things for high availability is days. That's where a lot of the carryover for control systems that on Starbase. It's fun seeing how different disciplines solves the same problem. So yeah. Anyway,
hope that answered your question, Back the A. We really appreciate that donation to get that information out into the world. All right, so along those lines, go ahead, Indy.
I was going to say, we all agree with chat. Alex is a legend.
Absolutely. So again, along those lines, we will be having our Tuesday show, Starbase Expanded, at 6 p.m. Central Time on Tuesday evening. So look forward to that. We go into all kinds of fun little rabbit holes, and we talk about all the external sites that we don't get to on today's show. So look forward to that if you like to know every little thing about Starbase Texas. So with that, we will see you then, guys. Most engines cut off. Hot staging confirmed. Love you. Bye.